gonna keep on going. Don't mind me, I'll leave this here. I mean, they're the only duo in the lobby, and TIE about to be out if they don't hold on.
They have to work with what they got. With the fact that they don't have their rate, that's very detrimental too. It's not like they're gonna have a portal. It's not like they're gonna have stall potential when the final ring does close in. But after getting that knuckle ridging from the other side here, TIE is in a lot of trouble. GK are giving them the other half of the sandwich, but Dinos is looking at them. RRQ now move up. TIE get eliminated. Last 3 squads, and Dinos lose out on the fuse.
But they need to get a reset, and they do. They're back up, and now setting their sights onto RRQ. But can they hold both teams at bay? They have found themselves in the center. Dropped has no wall in the back pocket, so he wants to let this fight go down.
Kiana's having way too much fun, but this is the presence you have to show off when you're down to a duo. Chaos now taking the flanking angle off the Watson. He's setting up the perimeter. This is so smart. They're wrapping up behind Drop. He doesn't know. He puts on the wall to his left. They're looking at RRQ. RRQ's also having a great game, but not getting the KP they need. They have the placement. They may move up as Dinos now fully send it onto the duo. They want to be able to get double top 2 here. GK now down to a solo. It's just the Rampart. RRQ was able to find Drops. J Future though taking the slow alongside DJ and feeling a rather chaos here. And with Dino having their POI advantage, they are your Game 6 winners with 14 KP.
26-point game. We take that all day. You see the celebrations from the boys with Kashera in the back. Incredibly proud of what you're able to achieve. Those are the kind of games that can change your lives. They can cement yourself into the match point finals. But it's so close at the top, Vicky. It's so close.
It wasn't even closer, honestly, if they didn't get the KP that they needed. Taking the flanking angle right behind GK was perfect because they got the KP that they could get off the leftover duo. Then they fully send it onto RRQ, and then they are able to take the dub. This skyrockets them from what, 7th, 8th place, all the way up to 1st place in the overall standings with 59 points.
And it's so wild to me when you look at the legend compositions that we had in our top 3 teams and the difference of how much it made. The fuse there at the end from J Future, throwing his ult. It's not getting intercepted by a pylon, it actually landed. Pricey was the Watson at that point for RRQ, who were playing Newcastle and Pathfinder. Dropped is still up with a Newcastle for GK. So like with Dinos not having a Newcastle, they have to get aggro.
It's so crazy to see like Fuse having the perk where you could use a Muller load through the wall, how it interacts there with so many Newcastles too in the lobby, them not running it themselves because they wanted to prio having the altar, so that way they could use that Void Nexus and just reset if they have to, holding onto the high ground. Look at this. 14 KP, 1st place spot over on their POI in Northpad with the chaos that we saw happening all the way on the north side. Even the teams that were trying to get aggressive, trying to find these fights in these tight chokes that would have left over 2 checkpoints. This is what you like to see from Dinos, especially when we have 1 more game left on Storm Point.
As you look at these points, especially on this back half side, I want to give flowers to Genji. Despite going out in 6th place, they walk away with 15
Boa tarde,
kills.
Will, já pedi já.
So many. Now
Já
we start
pedi,
thinking
ele vai
about what
ativar
that
pra você.
cutoff for 6th place may
Mano, por
be
que
on the
tá
top
dando
20.
eco?
You are looking for around 60 points.
Alô?
That is how close
Tá
the
dando eco aqui,
scoreline
hein?
is after our 6 games. So with Dinos grabbing 26 points, moving to the top with 59, that is at an average of just over 8 points per game. That 26-point game alone covers 3 games for them out of a 10-game series.
I like the fact that they were able to get that, where I think it was like match 2 was like one of their better games where they got like 4 KP. They had like triple, double zeros going on throughout the course of these last few games. Dropping that banger allow them to go up in the overall standings, but can they maintain that momentum is the question. As I'm hearing that Rain Day's got an interview for us, over to the floor. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Tiff and Vicky. That was a great cast. Great win by Dinos, and a great player here with NIP Curiv. Talking about what's going up. You're 10th right now in the standings. What's going on in this lobby? Because obviously the stakes are as high as they can get.
I mean, the lobby feels like really normal right now, average, like the last one. We just like got a lock in these last few games. We had really bad games at the start, but I think we'll pick it up now with the boys. Like, I just picked Sparrow, so it feels good coming back about the Sparrow. So yeah, like we just want to rack some points now and just feel secure for the next stage.
How big is it having a guy like Raven in your back pocket, a coach who's been there and lifted several championships, supporting you in a moment where you have to pull out all the tricks of the trade in order to survive?
I mean, Raven? Yeah, I mean, the best coach in the world, what can I say? Like, he's always good with the buys when he lands, you know? Has a pretty strong opinion on comps and stuff like that, so it doesn't feel like having a coach but a fourth player, you know? Like, he has a lot of game sense about the game, understands like things very good, and he's just not like alone on the game, but just like as a person, it's like really good when it comes to like personal stuff or you gotta talk to him or somebody. It's like pretty good guy, yeah.
Final question before we move on. Kira, your journey representing Argentina, but more importantly, representing South America. You've said it coming here, you wanted to win a championship for that region. How do you feel now knowing that there's 4 games left to decide if you're playing for one tomorrow?
I mean, nothing has changed, you know? Want to get that trophy for South America, like as always. Feeling confident right now. 4 games left. We're going to have to lock it in with the team, but I think we got this, yeah.
All right, NIP at death's door. Can they survive? Currently in 10th, so that is a good spot to be for now. And of course, Barney standing by with another team who has a big fan base here, VKG with QQ.
Very true. I'm joined by, let's face it, EWC royalty, your reigning champs. I've got QQ here from VK Gaming. I just want to quickly ask a little bit about yesterday, because you kind of came out of the group stage a few points short of making it directly to the finals on Saturday. So I want to get an insight into what the discussion was like last night when trying to mentally prepare for today's matches.
Q 哥想问你，因为昨天你们非常可惜，就差个几分就能直接晋级到这个后面的淘汰赛了。那今天相当于你们又得去过来这边打这个生存赛，你们就是当时队内的讨论沟通是怎么样的呢？就是如何这样调整你们心态，在这种惜败的这种场景下的。
其实吧，前2轮没打好被我，然后今天也就是算是统整前面3轮的打法，然后再去做优化，然后尽力的去打好每一把。
Well, even though we lost by just a scant few points, I mean, ultimately, it wasn't so much like the final few rounds. It was actually, if we had to look at what the main errors it made, it was actually in the first 2 rounds. We played it absolutely atrociously, and I think, you know, there's no one's fault but ours. For today, our strategy was, you know, see how the first 3 rounds develop and base our strategy on that. And I think right now, you know, as you can see, things are probably not looking so hot right now, but we're still trying our best.
Meus amigos, AVK, mano.
Champion owning your mistakes, but then looking to try and fix and build on it as well. Now, QQ, obviously we've already mentioned this, EWC reigning champions right now. It's a question that gets thrown around a lot at events like this, but does that come with a lot more pressure to perform at events like EWC?
那在像电竞世界杯这种很大型的比赛当中，是否你感觉压力会比可能其他比赛或者训练就是会高很多很多呢？就是以及你们会如何去应对这种更高的压力的情况下？
我其实打的也算是比较放松了，除了第一轮前3把可能确实压力有点大，比较紧张，但后面也算比较调整过来了吧，因为发生了一些事。 然后调整了一下，但问题不大，问题不大。
I'll say that coming into the tournament, especially in the first round, I'll say I was feeling a little tense, especially in the first 3 rounds. As you can see, like my performance clearly wasn't up to par. But I'll say that I've already overcome it, and I'm feeling much more relaxed right now. Something happened along the way. We're gonna divulge it, but I'm definitely kind of in a much more relaxed kind of state of mind right now.
Well, I mean, now that you've got to focus, obviously, we've only got about 4 maps left until we decide who makes it through from survival stage into tomorrow. Top 6 seems quite far away, but we've seen entire lobbies shift in the space of 1 game, especially in the group stage. We saw that yesterday. So do you have that belief? Do you have that positivity in you right now? Do you feel like you can make it to tomorrow?
那我们这生存赛还剩下最后4轮，但是我们也知道，在这个生存赛当中，包括小组赛也是，就是万事皆有可能就是一轮的时间。能导致所有的排名直接被打乱了。那现在还剩4场，能不能跟我们说一下，你是否还有希望，还有这个毅力去突破，进入到这个淘汰赛呢？
尽全力去打吧。
I'll do my absolute best.
That is all we need from you, QQ. Thank you so much for joining me in this interview. Right now, we're going to head over to a very quick break, but don't go anywhere because we've got plenty more Apex left to go, and it's the survival stage. 4 maps left. Let's do this.
Body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
He thinks he can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
Infinite ammo L-Star can change the tide of battles.
我想对粉丝说，谢谢大家支持，这次打的确实不太好。队友说，大家都加油吧，争取从败斗出来。
6 matches are done of ALGS at EWC survival stage. And boy, that leaderboard just keeps on changing. Now in first place, as Tiff was saying earlier, it's Dinos after that win. Graceful?
I mean, as the heat is rising not only in this tournament, but in the building, please, everybody, remember to hydrate and drink water. It is insanely hot right now. I would like to say Dinos, one of the teams that actually still played Alter, despite not being banned, abusing the fact that she is one of the most broken legends in the game, and they are getting super value out of it. So it's going to be fun to see if anybody catches up on that and they're going to copy that or not. But so far, wow, they are bringing the heat.
Yeah, some of the squads, I mean, they just need to be able to get a good win. And when we're talking about good wins, we got to be talking about Wolves, because in Game 5, they ended up with 26 points. This was a squad that when last time you saw us, after Game 3, they were at the bottom. And now they're currently sitting in 5th place.
See, this is exactly what they do. They can Uno reverse you and change it in any moment. So, like, Wolves is quite a dominating squad on the edge, and this is where they generally collect most of their kills, and it's very exciting to watch, but it is very risky, especially when you're going up with these other edge teams as well. But look, I did say top 6. Can I tell the future? Yes, because I'm in Australia and we're ahead of time.
How are you feeling about Wolves?
I mean, yeah, Wolves is doing what they need to do. They're one of those teams where it's like, you know, they can drop a couple zeros because they try to fight for the best spot, or they can drop the 24, 26-point games where it propels them to the top of the leaderboard. So they're doing what they need to do, #1 team in their region. And I you know, it's about moving forward with what they have and trying to close out these last 4 games to stay in that top 6.
Yeah, we just saw actually that interview with VKG, the defending champions at EWC. You could tell just, oh man, it did not look good in regards to like body language. The player was all the way down. One team that I know is wanting to make sure they make a bit of a comeback here is gonna be Gen G as well. I know. What are those comms looking like, Graceful, for Gen G?
I mean, I will say, so initially going into this match, the cutoff was around 40-ish points. So if we're just going based off of that, it could be 80 by the end of this. Plus minus 10, you know, I always say that if it's top or bottom heavy. But as you said, in regards of communication, I would also like to bring in Aurora into that. I went into and listened to everybody for everybody at home, maybe multi-view ALGS. You can get your in-game comms from the teams that you're supporting. Aurora under a lot of pressure. Not on the same page, called for a plan, couldn't follow up. Gen G, one of the teams that speak Thai, luckily I understand a little bit being Thai myself, is that they are absolutely on the same page. Super solid. They might not have been able to get that big game just yet. They're kind of in the middle of the pack. However, with the comps, they're definitely huge signs of life. They are on the same page, called for something, went back, say everybody's on the same page at all paces, and I'm super excited to see if they can wake up.
Yeah, don't forget about 16th place, Shopify Rebellion. I mean, this squad is also having to play with the sub. They currently have Phony in their roster.
Yeah, I had actually a chance to talk to Jen Burton, obviously, you know, teammate of Phony for Crazy Thieves, and I was kind of trying to get the idea of what might be going through Phony's head, obviously being an IGL himself, but not IGLing the team. And there's a butt ton of pressure on Phony right now. Not only does he sort of sit in his head and try to calculate out the games to then produce that to the team. Obviously, he's now playing Anchor, so this is something that he hasn't played for a very, very long time. And, you know, I think it was match 4 or 5 where, you know, they were looking like they could have taken that down, but unfortunately it just didn't look like the chemistry was there between the team. But, you know, Phony is an exceptional player and incredibly adaptable as well.
Yeah, honestly, just to piggyback off that with SR, I mean, Koifel is not replaceable. You know, he's a player that has some of the most firepower in the league, and that's just a role that they've not really had to fill with their team. He's been someone that can just clean up damage, and it was the Olympus game specifically where they had the first knock and they ended up losing the fight, and that looked like that was about to be their big game. And I think it's just in those situations alone that you're missing out on just that player that makes the big plays, the game-changing ones, the 1v3s or whatever it might be. And Phony hasn't had to be that slayer on a roster. This is a position that he has had to be in where he's not as vocal. And honestly, it looks like they're struggling, and maybe by the end of this, they might just hand over the reins to him, let him IGL, and then, you know, put Zainu back in the spot he was when they did win their event together.
I will say, though, after watching that game on Olympus, especially around Grow Towers that ended, they were missing Koifel. You can definitely feel the presence of their Koifel in many people's eyes, the star player he is, to be able to shine through and carry those fights. There were many moments where I go, if Koifel was here, they probably would have won this fight, because he really is that factor that can just immediately turn fights around. And, you know, we talk about it all the time through the likes of Zane, Effect, etc. Koifel is definitely that one player on their team. So him missing is definitely a, you can feel it.
There was also a situation, you know, I was watching the kill feed, Phony knocked 2 and then it just didn't go anywhere from there. So it's like, they've got the firepower, but why is that not connecting between the teams? So it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things, just too much show time, honestly.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, I think it was yesterday when it ended up happening, when we saw them get into a fight, and I remember you saying, Snipe, where's Phony? He's nowhere to be seen, and I think if this squad would have had a little bit more time, maybe it would have been different.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it be different. The last time they really played together, they won the event. So, I mean, it's just a character change of kind of filling in a role where, you know, Phony is used to, if he gets the knocks, he's like, yeah, let's push this. But if you're not the IGL, you can't be the one to be like, yeah, we're going to do this. You know, you can't like take control, because then all of a sudden there's just this weird battle of who's making the calls, who am I listening to? And honestly, it's just, I hope they find their groove. It's been a bit of an unfortunate, you know, showing at this event, but they are still one of the best teams in North America. And just, I mean, honestly, at this event in general.
Well, let's see if maybe they'll be able to switch it around a little bit, because there's some other squads. I mean, we got Aurora down there in 11th place. VKG, the defending champions. I know they're going to start feeling that pressure, but there's also other competitions happening here at EWC 26. So let's go into an Aramco Club Championship update with Glitter Explosion.
We're back for another Club Championship update here. We're over at the Allianz Vault with Trav, because a lot has been going on in Fatal Fury. I need you to update everybody on what's been going on.
Yeah, we've literally just now wrapped up the group stage. It's been absolutely electric today. So many upsets. The main story, I think, is that Falcons are no more.
What?
In Fatal Fury. 5 Falcons, I should say, came in, and 0 remain heading into the knockout phase. So all of them have been taken out in the groups. Vitality only have 1 as well, and they brought 3. So it's been a It's been a tough showing for Vitality, I will say.
That is tough for sure, especially when all of these teams are still waiting to see if they can put some points on the board for the Club Championship points-wise. So I mean, I don't know if that's what you expected.
We
not
got
what
a
I expected.
Super diverse day 4 for the knockouts in terms of clubs as well. It's, you know, we've got Reject, we've got Weibo, we've got Virtus Pro, Vitality, they're all in there. So a big chance for some of these guys to get some points on the board and obviously run away from Falcons too.
Absolutely. You know, all of our teams are going to be hunting down Falcons as the defending champs from last year's club championship final. So still early days, but lots more to come. We'll check in a little bit.
Thank you, Glitter and Trav. Now, so we're getting ready here for the final 4. All of y'all said that they weren't gonna make it, and right now RQ is sitting in 2nd place. Lace, what happened?
Oh, I knew this was coming to haunt me. I definitely did, and even Twitter knew it was coming to haunt me as well. But the reverse curse worked, and I'm so incredibly happy anyway. So let's go RQ.
Okay, Snipe, just quick. Are they gonna make it? Yes or no? 4 games left.
I mean,
Véi, os caras estão torcendo muito pra VK, né, velho?
First, second, or they get 15th and under. So right now they're sitting at the top of the leaderboard. It looks like it's looking good for them.
Okay, all right. I see you going there with that. I'm not sure the answer. It's okay. Well, let's see what's gonna happen here on the 7th game of survival stage at ALGS at
Bora,
26.
vambora.
Gaskin
7º
and
game,
Hansen.
mano.
Take it away. Can
Falta
RQ
3
make
só.
it? Or no?
It's a good question. We'll have to wait and see if they can make it. Of course, we've only got 4 games remaining. 1 more on Storm Point before the back end is dominated by World's Edge. 3 back-to-back World's Edge will conclude our series, Dan. I want to know who you've got your eyes on, though, because we are in the latter stages of this series and we're going to have to send some teams home.
Interesting that the desk is talking about RRQ, because it is one of the squads I wanted to focus on. They have been an incredible Storm Point team throughout this tournament and still are, clearly. But World's Edge, they've been pretty dreadful. They've only found 4 points on World's Edge so far. This tournament has been their worst map by far. They have to capitalize here on Storm Point to ensure they put enough points on the board that they can stay in those qualification places without relying on putting too many points in on World's Edge.
Who else you got your eyes on? I know you were looking at a couple of teams for different reasons. Give me the juice. Well, who are you looking at?
The same situation for Wolves. They're a good Storm Point team, but struggling on World's Edge, so they'll be a team that definitely needs to prioritize Storm Point points as well. But then on the other side, you've got Dinos. Dinos are currently leading, right? They are a team who have looked incredible. They actually get stronger when they move into World's Edge. They arguably in the best position out of anyone at the moment, because not only are they at the top of the leaderboards, but they've got a map where they have dominated time and time again.
A reminder, top 6 will stay in the tournament, will qualify for match point finals tomorrow. One of the greatest spectacles in all of esports. Unfortunately for the other 16, it will be going home today. So 14, as my math is terrible. You raised your eyebrows and quite rightly will be going home. But for now, the attention turns from my maths and how bad it is over to Storm Point.
And things start to get interesting now with the legend bans. This is something we have not seen so far this tournament, as we have match 7. Typically in the group stages, we only had the 6. We get Watson banned going into match 7, which now means the controller class is where we start to turn our eyes toward. How are you going to get that ring console? Change their abilities so they can get ring console, for example. You're going to use some of the other legends that can change their abilities so they can get ring console, for example. It completely changes the composition.
Also being one of those options for sure, and Dinos have gone for that. Now, when you look at compositions here, usually there's a theme. 3 or 4 in the series. Now we're starting to get a bit weird. Now we're starting to get a little bit funky. We're seeing Catalyst, Pathfinder, Wraith, Sparrow, Watson, Fuse in the lobby as well. There are so many different legends. Bangalore is popping up a fair bit as well. That makes it very, very interesting to judge how you're going to take a fight. You need to recognize and identify the composition of the team you're going up against.
You have to, otherwise you're going to be in a position where, you know, if you miss time one of their abilities, one of their ultimates, you can find yourself getting absolutely destroyed by one of them if you don't have some sort of counter available to you. And that is even more amplified when we get to the final circle as well, because now these legend bans are so apparent, we will get to a final circle where we may have 3 teams who are completely different in terms of their compositions. You have to now. PXX have lost 1.
They have, and this is because
PXX have lost 1.
They have, and this is because the zone is going all the way north towards the wall. Great news for Ninjas in Pajamas, and desperate news for Ninjas in Pajamas as well. They have to perform in these last 4 games if they want any chance of making it through to the match point finals. Forfun are going to get that knock. They're not going to get any more off the back of it, but another team who's going to be very happy, once again with where the zone is going, is Wolves Esports. Olympus, you can say what you want about Hammond. landing on the northern side of the map and having great pro from Zoo Station over to Wall. Wolves have a great spot once again.
Oh, Flat have lost one as well. Shopify Rebellion, who also are looking for points. They've lost one in their own, but it's a 2 versus 1 now. Nano's going to be taken down, and Shopify Rebellion can take full advantage of this.
2 versus 1. I believe there's still one player from Flat alive. It's Accusio who's trying to scarp her away there. Either way, Flat aren't out yet. They are down, but they certainly aren't out. They are scarping up the hill, and Shopify Rebelling are chasing them down. Zainu leading the charge here on the Sparrow.
Yeah, that was on Flat to make sure that they weren't just completely wiped there.
Como ele acertou
One
isso?
player just throwing themselves in front of enemies' way so that the last could escape. But Shopify Rebellion saying, actually, we're not going to make this too easy for you, because this is so far away from anyone else on the map right now. Shopify Rebellion, they really need that KP, because they really need points. Down in 14th position at the moment, only the 26 points. They are 22 points behind that cutoff. That is already becoming quite a significant amount.
Frustratingly here for Shopify Rebellion fans and for Zainu, just couldn't close the gap in time. Not running a legend that can cut down that space. No Pathfinder for them to zipline and take advantage of the opportunity to turn a 3v2 into KP and points. So it looks like Flat will survive. Good job actually from Nano on the Wraith to pull out of there and not only escape himself, but also get a teammate back up.
Flat
Survival
Nano,
is so
que
important
isso,
in
hein?
some of these
Flat Nano
fights, and you really do have to have someone who bears that in mind when you get into those engagements. And it is a fight or flight moment, and there are definitely some times when people retreat too early, but in that instance, Flat have done well to stay alive.
Well, back over a little bit closer to where Zone is going and the northern side of it. Neo are trying to work their way uphill at the moment, and Zipline Mafia, who are deep at the back of the zone, are not going to make it comfortable for them. Numerous reticles are going to be trained onto Neo as they try and force their way towards zone.
Bom dia, não sei se aplica você, mas vai ter...
Being held up elsewhere.
Tá no com lá do Wireframe, qualquer coisa avisei.
Tajak gets that kill, has to grapple back, but that's the beauty of being a Pathfinder.
É experimento?
Just worried about some other bullets coming astray from another side as well, but Zipline Mafia doing well.
Oh, the last bullet connects.
As Neo will
que
be
até
our
o professor
first
disse
team
rendeu
wiped
e foi
out of this
jogar.
lobby, and they're just going to have to watch from the lobby screen now.
O que é a
Zipline Mafia just
Telecom?
trying to fight for this northern
Não sei o
side.
que é, Lucas.
And underneath them is going to be
Mas pode
Wolves.
falar
Now,
aí.
Wolves dropped over towards Zoo Station. Interestingly, Zoo Station,
Ah,
the best
mataram o
POI that has been
cachorrinho,
performing
mano.
so far this tournament, with the most wins as well. Whether Wolves can add one more to that tally, and that's going to be an interesting factor when we get into match point finals with some of these POIs. What do you prioritize? Do you prioritize something that picks up a lot of points or something that's been picking up a lot of wins?
The teams who are quite far away from zone right now, one of them's on your screen, Aurora. 32 points, not the worst, but not the best at the moment for them. Shopify we saw a little bit earlier, they're moving past Launchpad. Gen G, who had a very, very impressive game. We saw a few moments ago on that north pad ending. They are all the way to the east of Stormcatcher right now, collecting some Evo. A little bit closer to the zone, we've got RRQ on our screens. We've also got E36 very, very close by.
Well, I said RRQ have to capitalize on their Storm Point priority here and how they perform on this map.
Vou dar uma olhada lá.
They want to try and hunt down E36, but E36 have also been right up there in 4th place at the moment, holding one of those qualification positions. It would be quite something to see them progress into those match point finals, silence any doubters, but of course, they've got a champion on their team as well.
Vou ter que ver amanhã,
it's great
então,
to see Obley on the stage, and
consigo.
after their win earlier, it was very calm, their reaction.
Tem coisa marcada
They knew they had to focus on the task at hand.
DCG have lost someone. They get the res. It's VKG. I think we're doing the damage from a distance.
How many Gs do we have?
Thank goodness GG aren't in the lobby. Well, DCG with the reset here. Should be safe at the bottom of this building for quite some time. But they will have to work a little bit further north as the game progresses. Now, Synap. He's getting creative here. Alongside Jusna. Surprise! Spurbolt goes in, Roy. He gets his shield broken. Lusan's going to be down, and E36 walked onto this. The trap was set.
Olha a Inter jogando, velho.
Stubbing your toe, filing your taxes, and
Tá
getting
falindo por
ambushed in
acaso?
Apexlegends. They are
Ou vai lançar o
all up
Destiny
there
2?
as the
Não,
worst
já
things
tem o
you can go
Destiny
through.
2, né? Não, é que eles erraram muita coisa no Destiny, aí os players meio que deram uma abandonada, né?
But VKG,
Porque tinha um Destiny 1 que era muito bom. Aí no Dash 2, o jogo é bom, mas fizeram muito DLC o DLC do game, pago, e era tudo muito caro no jogo. Aí ficou insustentável, né? Caralho, mano. Mataram a DCG, velho.
But it was just the one member of VKG at the time, and all the meanwhile, VKG are now being pressured by JDG.
The spot's been taken.
This is an incredible insight from JDG to be able to spot that one, and now VKG have to go back because they've been forced away.
Yeah, this is going to be a straight fight. They have no other choice. JDG waiting on the end of that portal, seeing that VKG overextended to third party.
Não vai, eles fugiram.
And it looks like E36 are out of there. VKG get lucky.
But do they? They've now lost their position. They still have to transition from south to north. They're now going to be held out by teams. They were in a position where you could potentially pick up a lot of points here. So now you really have to change your frame of mind. Do instead of looking for getting to the late game, you start to look for more kills and more KP on this southern side.
Aí ficou uma merda, né?
Mas o jogo, mano, How quickly Zaini finds out the full team's inside that building. Zap gets absolutely obliterated as well as Obli finds the kill. You can see immediately Shopify Rebellion hit the Void Nexus to get out of there. They did not like the look of that.
Zap took far too many bullets for his liking. And the same could be said for Zaini when he hit that Void Nexus, as you mentioned.
QQ again. Just being a nuisance. One clip to the back of Jitsu. Jumps into the Void and says, VKG, come with me, boys. It's time to finish this fight.
And E36 go back to retreating once more. Done very well to get out of dodge here, and they do have space to play on the south, and actually they have a crafter on the southern side near Cascade Falls as well, so they will be able to get back up to a 3. So VKG, despite the fact that yes, they gave up their position earlier, at least they are able to benefit from a point. Maybe more points if they can take out Shopify Rebellion.
And
our reigning EWC champions here have quite a lot to do to still catch up the leading pack.
Over to the skies, TIE flying into wall, and let me tell you, it's very, very busy. Finding somewhere to land here is going to be extremely, extremely difficult. But looks like they've found a little place to call home for now. Important they get that castle wall down as quickly as possible. Stinger Bolt is going to be deleted, and even though the pressure's coming in, the one thing that you don't want to feel pressure from is excuses. Hemlock in his hands, trying to delete that castle wall, but now that they've allowed them to land, now they've allowed them to set up TIE, now a problem. Well, the likes of Zip that field.
What a fight this is. Regional final winners from EMEA, regional final winners from APAC North as well.
Cara, o Apex ele sempre foi...
For TIE, I mean, for FCAM, what a career it's been of ups and downs, but always
na verdade,
historic moments that land. Could it be another one?
Uh-oh.
Fortnite também.
Well, they're getting zone wrapped. And it's Aurora who move all the way from the north side around the zone, taking a little tick of damage on their way to do so. But now they can walk downhill with everybody in the lobby in front of them.
Well, Aurora, they have a lot to do. 11th place, 32 points. Let's jump into a listening and see what the comms are like for Aurora.
This guy's playing again. This guy's playing split as fuck. When zone close, we can fight these guys.
I think we can fight them now.
They have high ground, no, on us.
Yeah.
And then, but this guy's not gonna trip it. They're fucking rampart.
Yeah, they're not.
I think with our comp, once the zone close, we can kill them. It's free, no?
Okay.
We just play here and here.
They have the same comp, but they have Axel.
We can try to pinch them. Come.
Yep. Can you slow walk on the left side? On the left side?
Yeah, okay, do it. Do you want me to distract him?
No, no. Actually, you can later.
Watch out for Sparrows.
Do it now, do it now. Be careful.
Okay, I'm picking.
Close.
Eita, vai! Caralho, mano.
I'm broken. One is nice. I ult it, look. Nice. I'm killing.
It's Sparrow.
Battle. Another drone, guys. You have to break it. Okay.
I come.
I'm killing.
I'll go.
We are not getting backstab.
Meu Deus, mano.
Yeah, I'm watching. Okay.
I'm
Que
playing with you.
tensão do caralho, velho.
I'm with you again.
Okay, I'm walling off.
Well, you heard the comms, you heard the plan. Not as effective as they wanted it to be, though. Gen G survive even after really good initial damage from Aurora.
Aurora have to be careful now because this fight has been a little too long.
Os caras estão pressionando a gente
TIE are
demais,
taking a look at it, and actually a few teams are as well now, but they are knock.
There's Ziki
He's fallen.
Zeke
Aurora
caiu.
weak though. They have to be careful here. They have to make sure
Mano,
they
Aurora.
stay healthy enough
Beleza.
to get a reset. Hyaka now has to use the Bangalore smoke to try and get to his
tem
teammates.
mais,
But
tem
you
mais,
mentioned
tem mais
TIE.
cara atrás
They're
aí.
moving in to look at this, and Genji aren't finished out yet. It's a 1v1.
Ah, é a Aurora
are dead.
Games, mano.
Trying to force the fight onto Genji.
And it's the same thing that's happening. Forcing another fight, taking too long with it as well, and not being able to finish it off. But now, TIE can potentially reap the rewards here down in the tunnel, but they have to be careful too.
Mano,
When they extended
a
down to the
galera da
southern side,
Aurora-
GK just took the position away from them,
Nossa,
but Zipline
véi, que
Mafia
merda,
say,
mano,
we'll
que
take the
merda.
fight with you instead then.
Kazakh just stands above them and goes,
Eles nem
hello,
precisavam
boys.
ter lutado aquilo pra frente.
Welcome to my domain.
And now he decides, there's a few too many of you. I don't like the odds of this fight. Smart man. Backs up instead to the rest of his teammates on Zipline
Cara, que arma
Mafia.
da hora.
It's like a pub.
TIE
Eita,
wrapping back towards their
a Inter
spot.
acabou,
Genji is
mano.
still alive, by the way.
Inter morreu.
E36 though might not be alive for very long because VP are pushing them. Flat been eliminated in the meantime.
Inter right foot.
PX Execution were taken down
DK acabou
about a
também.
couple of minutes ago, and now End of Force 36
DK
will
não,
be joining
DK.
them. The south side of zone is starting to close. It's getting very, very busy. Pricey has to smoke off the LOS here to try and get easy flash back on his feet.
Well, VK Gaming have done well to stay alive on that southern side. They are amidst quite a few teams though, as are VP. VKG now with the scenery they've been able to put themselves in. They actually have a few angles that they can hide behind. And VP, sadly, are just dropping one by one. They are using knockdown shields now to avoid the gunfire from for fun.
Taskmaster is last alive. One of my favorite wraiths in the world to watch is on your screen right now. That's QQ.
Cara, que o Kill, ele tá querendo carregar o time inteiro nas costas dele.
VP as yet.
Já deu pra ver, já.
Ready for QQ. But something I want to highlight, when we're talking about zone, when you're talking about Godspot, and you're talking about a team that needs it, Ninjas in pajamas are set up for success. The only team in a building inside a zone.
And we've had a few moments already this tournament where NIP have definitive moments in their tournament, and it is another one right here.
Tá vivo no campeonato, hein?
They are presented with an opportunity to put big points on the board to catch the lobby leaders.
So
already they find themselves 14 points adrift. Now TIE, who were pushing Genji earlier, are going to move into zone, and again it's thanks to a Wraith as well.
Well, GK is trying to bully them because they realize they have to go.
Pegaram os caras da GK pelas costas, mano. Fudeu.
Showing what Pathfinder can do. The rest of his teammates have joined him, but they're
Fudeu,
trying
que
now
agora
to
lá
pinch
embaixo e ali em cima, ó.
GK Esports, and they're going to have to Wraith portal out themselves.
Ah, eles botaram o
Backs are
portal
going
também.
down, and with the two teams in front of them moving, it's time to take the disguise here for the Zipline Mafia, and they know how to do it better than anyone.
Yeah, this is going to be ugly now for these southern teams. I'm expecting about 4 to go down on this next rotation. There's just not enough room for all these teams to play.
Well, the thing is, this is a blind
Shopify
Remember,
foi
no
na mesma
Valkyrie,
casa,
no
dividindo
passive scan. They're
terreno.
just going to be looking at what they can see and hoping they find something
Nossa,
from their
mano.
POV that looks open. For fun, not having fun. They are getting nuked up on this high ground.
Nossa,
Nades left, right, and
Farfan.
center. Tyler left on his own now, trying to play behind the knockdown shield, but here comes Shopify. Zap cleans it up, and Shopify get the KP.
Shopify Rebellion starting to put some points on the board.
Nossa, Farfan ficou no
And
pior
maybe
lugar
can
do
capitalize on
mundo.
some of these teams that are arriving late, as well as For Fun Esports. With that elimination, they are just outside
E a Dino tá
of the
caída
top
ali,
6.
hein?
Genji losing players, as are VP. Dino's also struggling on their move in, and this is what I was talking about. It's all hell breaking loose on this approach.
Genji and VP eliminated from the lobby.
Zipline?
Kazakh trying to pop a battery behind this knockdown shield, but Shopify Rebellion are queuing out, looking to finish this off. That Stinger Bolt is going to sting Kazakh. He's got to pop the battery, but has he got the time to do so? Just about, I think.
Já era, já.
He's still there, and he gets that bat off, but it's the last member alive.
Sadly, there's going to be a team that comes in from the Reds. Shopify
Yeah,
Rebellion
yeah.
say, look, maybe we can get in and pick off a few more, but then they know when to retreat. As Zipline Mafia, actually with the attention turned towards Shopify Rebellion, will be eliminated. As Dino's down to 1, what can you do, Chaos?
Pricey goes down, but Dinos will go down permanently. 9 squads now remain, half the lobby has been eliminated.
Esses caras da
RRQ get a
RRQ,
reset
eles
here. Easy Flash has
trocaram,
to back
né,
up
de...
himself to try and get healthy, but this is the
Trocaram de
building where
players, mano.
everybody
Posso não ter certeza,
wants to
mano.
pay the
Acho que
rent.
eles deram uma trocada
VKG up on the high ground. inside of the building, JDG, and just outside the duo of RRQ.
And RRQ would love to try and create more of a gap between themselves and 7th place. Remember, they're in first right now. It's a 14-point gap between themselves and 7th. They want to extend that as much as they can going into the next, because they have been underperforming on World's Edge. But Easy Flash and Pricey still as a duo. Now, Shopify Rebellion have a difficult journey here because they're being pressured from the north of Wolves Esports.
One thing that certainly helps the difficult journey is having this weapon in your hand. And maybe even this weapon as a backup. A Kraber L-Star double care package combo. It's one thing to have them, but you've got to put them to use.
It's where you go from here, though, if you try and head north. Wolves have got such good eyes. Now you've got to use those void passages just to stay alive. It's looking pretty dicey here for Shopify.
Only probably desperately waiting for a smoke to come back. They get the smoke down. VKG have been eliminated in the meantime. Wolves down to just one. Crazy Kong, the last standing member. As Ninjas in Pajamas now make their play to play the roof of that one building that might.
Nossa, o Shopify conseguiu reviver naquele cantinho ali, mano.
Wolves are gone. RRQ also eliminated. 6 squads now remaining, and somehow Shopify reset here.
Yeah, Wolves going down was massive for Shopify Rebellion's
Como é que a
chances,
Shopify
but
conseguiu
it's NIP
resetar,
at the
mano?
moment. In the best spot you could
Olha os
possibly
ninjas
be
em
in.
pijamas.
Not only can they pick up potential KP,
Acharam o
but also
Shopify,
when it
mano.
comes to zone, they're the only team on the north.
Mano, o Shopify tá morto ali, velho. GK vai acabar com ele.
Shopify Rebellion
Nossa, aqui não
try to
acabou
make
com
a
ele.
desperate play for somewhere safe in zone, aren't able to do so because KNC were holding down this spot behind the Newcastle wall, behind the Rampart walls as well.
Olha aquilo, mano. O que eles estão fazendo?
And you can say the same about so many teams in this lobby.
Que
But with the game
mano.
slipping away, you have to make the most of this.
Os caras fizeram uma casinha, mano.
Well, 3 teams have the same composition.
Que
Wolves,
isso?
they're eliminated from the lobby, but they also had that Wraith at Newcastle and Rampart available to them. That's
Olha a
the 3.
casinha que os caras estão construindo,
And then for
mano.
JDG, they're running the Sparrow, as
Olha a
are
casinha, olha a
NIP.
casinha.
And there's one Caustic. JDG still running the Caustic. Just think about how much that gas could affect this final circle. And then NIP have the Catalyst.
They also have the Fuse.
Olha, me fechou os caras ali.
Fuse ult, Motherload in this endgame could go crazy. Teams who are going to be safest for the longest, TIE and GK Esports. They are center zone.
Deployable barrier here. Contact with target.
Now for NIP here, because they control the whole north and they have a cat, they can just Dark Veil, cut off the entire sightline, make all of the other teams fight, and then just mop things up. That's the simple terms.
F-Chan's gone down. JDG are making the play here to try and swing and clean this side of zone onto TIE, but the Newcastle wall, the Rampart walls make it so difficult to do. Damadal with the Kraber in his hands, but only 2 bullets to work with here. He wants to peek
Quebraram a
and see if he
armadilha
can pick up a
daqui.
big
Quem tá ali em
shot.
cima? É a NIP?
But KNC cannot
Nossa,
connect right
mano.
now.
That's probably the one team you don't want to be looking at.
Nossa,
NIP
mano.
are not the focus if you are Kinatrope. You've got to worry about GK because Sheila is here reigning supreme.
NIP now make their move though. JDG, 2 of them will fall.
Mano, a NIP tem que jogar logo, velho.
The piercing spikes go
Tá
out.
acabando o tempo, mano.
JD Gaming will follow. And the last team's remaining right below where NIP find themselves. The Dark Veil will cut off the zone as NIP wait for GK and TIE to do the heavy lifting.
Mano,
Just
nice
patience, but
terreno,
GK,
mano.
there's a Wraith behind. It's a portal that could change things.
But Cole's aware. And with TIE falling, the piercing spikes go down again.
Moleque, a NIP vai
It's a
ganhar
matter
isso aqui,
of
mano.
time here, surely.
Nem
For
fodendo.
NIP to make the most of the zone. The most of the opportunity.
NIP ganhou.
As Shrub goes down. Ninjas in pajamas.
Caralho, moleque.
And they get that win that they so
Nem
desperately needed here, and they
fodendo.
push themselves up into those qualification spots. 4th place NIP now hold. And ever since they had that northern side, it was as simple as just being patient as always with Apex Legends. The Dark Veil came out at just the right time. I did like the attempt from GK to do something different with the Wraith
tentou,
ball.
mano.
Maybe you're able to bamboozle them a little bit. But NIP, they stay calm, they stay focused, and they get the points they needed. But there are still 3 matches remaining. It is not job done yet for any of these teams in the top 6.
So many teams in the last 4-5 matches have made the most of an opportunity when the zone has come their way. That's another great example. We saw it from Wolves on Olympus. gifted a lot of zones. NIP get gifted one here, and everybody is making it count. That has been the difference maker for so many of these teams. But it's also sometimes that we see those opportunities slip through the fingers. They're not making those mistakes at the moment. That's the quality of the lobby we're seeing. When the zone comes your way, everyone's making the most of it.
And these are the reactions. That's what's different from one side to another. And even though GK would have known they were never the favorites in that fight, they will still be proud with the amount of points they've been able to put on.
One fist bump key on, please.
Don't leave him hanging for too long. As GK, even though they didn't win, they are still in second place at 63 points. And we are starting to create a little bit of a gap from our lobby leaders to the rest of the chasing pack at the moment. I mentioned RRQ in first on 64. Wolves are in 7th on 50. That is a 14-point difference. Now, sure, that could very much be caught up in one game. But if we still see RRQ putting up points, putting up 6 every single time, they do start to get towards that 80 that we were suggesting may be a rough cutoff point. But it's a 25-point game for NIP. Our incredible America's winners when we looked at how they dominated through the region. They struggled here in group stages, but now in the survival stage, they're coming to life.
GK Esports, 11 points for them. Not a huge amount of KP alongside the placement. As we look down at the bottom, there's a couple of teams there which we've talked about struggling a bit, and they're continuing to struggle. Now let's talk about the cutoff down. Let's talk about the overalls. Let's talk about the series, because that's what really matters here. Remember, top 6 will stay in the tournament, will qualify for match point finals tomorrow. Everyone else will go home. Talk to me about the cutoff.
So Team RRQ in first, GK in second, Dinos third, NIP fourth, Enter Force 36 are fifth, and Zipline Mafia are in sixth. Now 52 points is where Zipline Mafia currently sit. We were guessing around 80 points. As Graceful was alluding to, it might drop down to somewhere in the 70s as well. It's always difficult because it depends on how many points are being gained by the top rather than the bottom. But somewhere in that region of 70 to 80 is what we're thinking that cutoff could be. So there is still plenty of points to be had, and 3 matches, a lot of time to gain said points as well. If those who are close to chasing it, Wolves Esports, For Fun Esports,
Cara, pra mim a GK tinha que os
Gaming, as well
3
as
ter
Shopify
subido ao mesmo
Rebellion,
tempo, mas
they close out 7th through 10th at the moment.
Ninjas in Pajamas making the most of the
Cara,
opportunity.
mataram dois,
Huge amount
mano.
of damage, kills and assists. And this is what we're talking about right now. Remember, Zipline Mafia, as it stands, the final qualification spot for match point finals belongs to them. But look at the total points. Look how close it is with not many games remaining now. 52 points is where we stand. Wolves just 2 behind, then 1 behind. It is so close here.
A little bit of a gap between 9 and 10, an 8-point gap between JD and Shopify Rebellion, but Shopify did put up some points to keep themselves in the conversation. The further you get down into this table, though, the more you get worried. When you look at PXX and Flat, you're starting to think the tournament may be over for you. You're going to have something huge in the next 3. Aurora are down there as well. Virtus Pro find themselves down there. TIE, the regional finals champions from their region as well. For you, 9 behind,
then 1 behind.
Mano, como é que a Elite não passou ontem, velho? Que porra é essa, velho? Eu perdi ontem,
Our
mano.
survival stage. We'll find out what happens in the next game in just a few moments. We'll go for a
Pô,
quick break. We'll be
sacanagem,
right
mano.
back.
Eu perdi os jogos ontem, eu não sei porque que a Elite não tá no, na final.
Every clutch, every respawn. We were
Merda.
there for the years of grind, and we're here. Now, the proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Alcançou o impossível, vambora. Get ready. Aux is coming to Las Vegas em outubro. Da hora, da hora. Não perca a emoção. Fique à venda. O Split 2, hein? Caralho. Dia 29, meu aniversário, velho. Olha lá.
All right, I
Vambora.
found them. We were looking for Team Liquid fans. What better? We found Team Liquid. It's Panic. How you doing, man?
I'm amazing, man. Just vibing, watching. Yes, sir.
You know, one of the things I said, I love seeing your brother come to LAN and be in your family invested and involved in what you do. How cool is it now, them seeing you in Paris doing so well?
I mean, it's insane. Like my dad came with me here.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah, he's here. He's here. And like, it's amazing that they all support and show love. It's just awesome.
Yeah, man, you guys have something special cooking. I haven't seen Zero talk about a teammate like this since maybe forever. I mean, he was obviously had issues with Hal, but you just seem to fit so well with what he's trying to do. Why does that fit work for you guys?
I think with Hal and Zero, it was like a lot of an ego battle.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of had one when I was with TSM, but
Pô,
like,
sabe
I
que
knew
eu tô
joining
achando,
Liquid, I would have
que a
to fully put it
Elite
down
e a
and
Team
just
Liquid
like take it in, because he's a better
já
player. And I'm gonna learn off of
foram
him.
pra
That's a
final
mature
já. Statement, man. I appreciate it. Well, you guys have been dominating. I
Eu
know
acho
you
que é
have your
isso,
day off
velho.
here. I
Por
won't
isso
keep
que
you
eles
too
não tão
long, but
aqui.
congratulations, and we're excited to see what you do tomorrow.
I appreciate that, man.
All right, Panic Apex
Deixa eu ver
here,
aqui.
man. Young Gun. How old are you?
19.
19. Some more Apex Young Guns out here hanging out in Paris. Vamos dar uma olhada, vamos dar uma olhada.
Welcome back to the
Eu
ALGS
achei que
Split
são na
One
final
playoffs of
já,
the
velho.
Esports World Cup 2026. And now we head to World's Edge. The survival stage continues with
não
just
dá pra
3
ver, mas eu acho que já
matches
passaram, né?
left. And they will all take place on Old Faithful. World's Edge is the battleground.
And interestingly, depending on how much you've been following ALGS throughout Split 1, we did
Já
not have
passaram, já.
World's
Eles
Edge
estão ali mó
online, but we
suave,
do have it
bebendo
here
água e
at
tal.
LAN at EWC 2026. But these teams, they know it, they're well versed in it, they've practiced it and played it enough. But it certainly does change things
Guys,
for a
vou pegar
lot of these
café,
teams,
já
whether
volto.
it be where they drafted on their POI draft or just how comfortable they are with the way that the game plays here on World's Edge. I did mention in the previous some of the teams that have been doing very well on World's Edge. 2 of those being Dinos and Gen G. Dino is actually the 4th best team in the entire tournament on World's Edge. That's including those teams in match point finals. And then Gen G are the 8th best team in the tournament on this map as well. In terms of POIs, Lava Fisher has been performing very well, staging as well, and Big Maud. So that does take us across both sides of the map at least, comparatively to Olympus. But there are plenty of teams who have prioritized World's Edge here. You look at RRQ at Skyhook West, NIP at Lava Siphon, which I just mentioned. You've got Harvester as well for Fun, Shopify Rebellion, Acclimatizer. There is a lot of teams here who really wanted to put a punctuation mark here on these final 3 maps.
Well, here we go then, everyone. We're going to see a lot of keys be crushed at some point very, very soon. Only 6 can make it through to tomorrow. And as we head over to World's Edge, how many tournament-defining moments over the years have we seen take place on this particular map? Match 8 is ready. The teams are moving. And one thing to highlight here, we talked about some of the repetitive, predictable zones that we've seen so far throughout the tournament on other maps. We've seen some surprises on World's Edge. We've seen some strange pullbacks. We've seen the zone bouncing around a little bit. And I wonder if teams and coaches just had to refresh their brains when it comes to how these zones are going to play.
And thank goodness it evens it out, right? That we get a map. Actually, we get some differing zones, but a team that's going to have a lot of eyes on them now. NIP in 4th place. They hold one of those qualification positions, of course, but still 3 matches, still a lot of points to play. Now, zone-wise, we are heading over towards the Fragment area, maybe even a little bit further east than that as well. So this could be great for the likes of Enter Force 36, who are over at Overlook. They will have the quickest route down to No Name, whereas Aurora and Kinotrope are going to be battling out on that western side at the moment. Now, as you look at the Legend selection as well, we didn't speak about it, but Sparrow was banned in match 7. Again, another character that can just hit those survey beacons so easily. Oh, Fuse now is the highest selected Legend. Anyway, Kinotrope under fire.
Already a fight going down. No surprise, a lot of teams already moving through Monument and Fragment. And Aurora sending this one. That's going to be 2 dead on the side of Kinotrope, and that's going to be Aurora picking up a couple of points. Now, boy, do they need them. Everyone's still on their feet. VKG having a look at this. LQ's moving in. Cass is having a look at this as well. Flap's just been eliminated, by the way. Off screen. That's Gen G getting busy already. If this is the pace we're going to play out, I'm going to need an oxygen tank.
Well, Aurora under fire from another squad now. VKG trying to third party here, but
What is
Effect,
happening?
can you do the job? No! Effect goes down, and Hyaka, suddenly there's a lot of responsibility to finish off this fight.
It's going to be a 1v1. Hyaka trying to play behind the knockdown shields. Where's the last remaining member? There he is. It's QQ, and he's got an armor advantage as well. Now, do they have the time to finish this one off cleanly? Hyaka's burning. Hyaka's struggling. Aurora are gone. That's QQ to the rescue.
That is 2 1v1s for Hyaka
Yeah,
now, where he just hasn't been able to come up clutch. A lot of pressure on that young man as well. Didn't want to take the fight, saw he had an armor disadvantage, saw he was on altar and thought maybe I can get away and get the rest of the team up. How different would have that fight been if it was a controller player, perhaps one of your fraggers like Effect in the 1v1 instead?
Aceitam, guys?
But Aurora are now going to have to turn to matches 9 and 10
Vocês
to try and
aceitam
catch
o
up
pãozinho?
here. It's a big task, a big ask for them.
Ninjas in Pajamas hold one of those qualification spots at the start of this game. But it can change very, very quickly if you go out early. There is no worse feeling
Pra você não.
than holding a spot,
Não, pra você
thinking you
não.
go to match point finals, and then dying early and having to see the rest of the lobby eat
Isso,
those
velho.
points up that you could have had. They made the most of the zone last time we saw them on our screens. But that was on Storm Point. Now we're on World's Edge. They've got a little bit further to go.
So 11 fuses in the lobby, which is what I was saying before all that
Esse é
commotion
meu.
started happening as well. So expect
Esse é meu.
a lot of bombardments happening in terms of how many grenades can be popped out as well. And here is one of them. Shopify Rebellion Zainu on the fuse, and they are taking a look towards No Name right now. Virtus Pro currently reside in those houses. There are available buildings here. And Shopify Rebellion, I think, have noticed that, so they're just going to move down and probably claim one.
Dorito's free, but it's not the best building. By the way, Kinotrope have just been eliminated as well. PXX. Amadow's the last player to go down for Kinotrope. We saw him involved in that early scuffle, or should I say, saw Kinotrope involved in that early scuffle. And Dorito building isn't prime. Zap's taking a bit of damage on the crosshair. Has to be very, very careful. It looks like Shopify want to try and take this. A little bit of a risk considering how many teams are in and around Fragment probably having a look at this.
Well, and the fact there are buildings available they can play, but perhaps they just feel like VP are in a winning position, a winning building. And Shopify Rebellion do need points. They're in 10th place. And perhaps they feel like just surviving until the late game isn't enough. They need to be finding a win.
Ninja in Pajamas is going to be safe here for quite some time. Eventually, they're going to have to look to go through the likes of Wolves Esports, but SR versus VP continues, and the Motherload is doing some damage here for Taskmaster. However, Prestis is down. Zap's going to swing. That's two. That's VP down. That's why Shopify wanted to fight, because they want it clean.
That's a huge win for Shopify Rebellion. Not only do you take the entirety of this area now and arguably one of the more comfortable buildings to hold, you get points on the board and you eliminate another team in the area. I mean, if it doesn't pull all this way, then maybe Shopify Rebellion don't fancy staying, obviously. As Gen G, now we can check back at the replay they had in the initial engagement with Flat. It was a very quick wipe in the end.
Quem matando a Flat. Pô.
But where does Shopify Rebellion set up? Do they continue to hold, or do they wait for a little bit of information that they could gather from No Name?
Yeah, gata quer fazer live,
gente. To close. Everybody else is going to be stacked up on the Fragment side of where this zone is. Shopify just trying to clear their backs, essentially. They will walk in. They can let the lobby take care of itself if it pulls anywhere near to where they are. And even if it doesn't, they've got the walk-in that they can look to third-party all of these teams that will be coexisting. So Shopify in a really, really good spot for now. And if it goes to the north, they also have the option of just wrapping up to the epicenter high ground. So lots of options available for Shopify Rebellion. Away from the zone. It's going to take a look at Neo heading into countdown through the skies. And a landslide is RRQ.
And Neo, another one of those teams who are almost in Hail Mary territory. Going into match 8 here. If they were to fall early, it's going to be very difficult going into 9 and 10. Well, that doesn't give us much more information. It is still going to be hovering around both, and Shopify Rebellion are going to head back up to the eastern side right now. Like you were saying, just waiting for that zone to close.
Cara, o cripto é tão roubado assim, mano.
Making sure they're looted and booted at the same time.
Interesting to see Wolves and Gen G. Obviously, they don't have the next zone information from where they've been positioned, playing both of the chokes, both the Geyser choke and the Siphon choke. Well, at some point, they're going to have to engage. They're going to have to move up towards that zone, so keep your eyes on that. Ninjas in Pajamas actually rotating back towards Wolves and that choke.
Deus.
And you've also got Zipline Mafia coming
olha essa merda que vai dar ali, ó.
So we're about to see
olha a merda que vai dar aqui,
a few
mano.
bullets fired for sure as teams start to engage and get
Ninjas
squeezed together on that choke.
A very important fight if it does happen as well. Zipline Mafia in 6th place, that cut-off position right now.
Wolves.
They are in 4th place at 59 points. So if either of these go down, it would be great for the rest of the lobby. But for Ninjas in Pajamas, it's been a very treacherous journey to this point.
Well, let's jump into the comms with Ninjas in Pajamas and see what the plan is to try and get through this choke.
How'd you know another? You might need to portal him. Yeah, keep coming. I'm fine. You need to portal mine? Yep, sure thing. You're gonna die there. He's dropping on me. I'm joking. He ran back up, he ran back up.
Que isso, mano? O cara tá falando dentro de uma Ferrari? Porra, é o microfone.
I'm in portal. 6 zip right away, Cole. We're looking. I might die. Yeah, you're fine. We're looking. Coming. They're zipping below. Yeah. We'll shot that guy. They're going for the wrap. Fuck, man. That bang and caustic were low. Fuck. Fuck. I'm gonna go grab him. Crack the first guy. I mean, should we not just mirror them, bro? Are they not gonna fight? There's a team here, also. Okay. There's 2 teams here. We just fight this team. Okay? There's 2 more teams at Garza. There's a team in this building and a team.
You can see some of the conversations that are being had between Vayne, Kurev, and Cole about what the plan is. They're thinking, shall we mirror them? Are they going to fight someone? Zipline Mafia, of course, we saw on our screen. This is a replay of
VP,
the fight we saw take place a little bit earlier on between VP and SR. You can see how clean it was.
Keys.
The Ninja in Pajamas, pretty tough rotate for them to have to make here. Wolves still holding the choke in front of them, and the longer they take, they've got more teams looking to squeeze
jogada estupenda.
Potentially from behind here. And now they know it.
I think that's the main problem, is the chokes that are being held by Wolves and Gen G makes it very difficult for these teams arriving from the south right now. And NIP are soon going to be aware of PXX. And the trouble is, if you engage in this, it does open up the door for Wolves Esports to join into the fight. And we've already seen Wolves throughout this tournament take some questionable fights themselves. But perhaps this one is one they might want to take, because you clear the entirety of the south if you win it.
Calma, Peach.
The ring closing certainly will
affect
this fight as well. It's going to force it a little bit as it begins to close now.
A little bit of a double take there as I saw R301 in the hands of one of our pro players for the first time in quite some time. I guess the fact we're on World's Edge, it kind of makes it feel somewhat comfortable. Ninja Pajamas, they've got to hold here. And then they have to work their way forward. They've got 20 seconds on zone. Everybody who is involved in this area has to squeeze themselves in towards zone. And there's only room for certain teams to survive. Kuro having to pop the battery here, does have the mother low, but you don't want to waste it knowing that you've got potentially another fight in front of you with Wolves.
And just to make it more interesting, a Mythic Bin is spawning up by Wolves as well, so there are plenty of things to be considering here for all these teams. But NIP, it is focusing on PXX right now as the Dark Veil goes down. There's a lot of damage coming out of PXX here.
Nip, vocês vão rodar, Nip.
But Ninjas in Pajamas back at the mother load. Aren't looking healthy at all. Cole's down. Vayne might be down soon as well. He gets the armor swap off of Cole's box. And desperately just spams some thermite to try and buy time. PXX now being grabbed by RRQ. This one saved the day here.
RRQ pode salvar
Also
Nip,
looking
mano.
at it as well, we may see both of these teams go down here. NIP and PXX are going to struggle. Vayne's going to try and get out of dodge, see if he can maybe rescue the rest of the team.
PXX is down there.
Do you see him?
Vayne had to jump back in the port because he's only got 1 health. He would have died to zone immediately there. This is a mess. The grenades flooding towards him. Somehow Kurev and Vayne is still holding on. He gets the medkit popped. He might get the shield bat popped, and now do you take the portal? Do you try and risk going back into zone here?
Easy Flash is staying here. The rest of RRQ have left. And Easy Flash says, no, maybe I can do a little bit of damage. Now he'll get enough of a warning sign to say, I need to retreat to the rest of the team. And he's going to wrap back round thanks to being a Wraith with the rest of the squad.
Takes the Void Nexus. Wolves still
Cadê? Bota a câmera
to
do...
see what's going on and wondering why we haven't got any KP out of all of this. We've got a Kraber in the hands of No Name. There's a 150.
Ooh.
Difficult lessons to be taught if you're on the NIP side of things right now.
Conseguiram reviver o cara?
Teams left because Wolves are just holding such an advantageous position.
There's one.
Ai, viado.
But Gen G, out of nowhere, now put the pressure onto Wolves.
And now Wolves have to get out of dodge as well. The Altar and the Wraith have been saving people's bacon right now.
Both Wolves inside of the phase dome. And they go towards No Name. Can they get a reset here?
Yeah, I wonder if Vayne can actually get ahead of this zone as well. Kurem's been able to get out, but then just get spotted. Vayne's going to be the last remaining. And it is going to be Gen G who start to focus.
Ai, mano, ele vai cair de boca na Wolves,
to make
mano.
acquaintances on this side of the map. Vayne, 20 HP. It's felt like he's played most of the game. This is 1 HP now, and NIP are gone, and they have fallen early. A nightmare situation now to have to watch the rest of the lobby. No Name still with his Kraber in his hand, by the way.
It allows so many teams to start catching up, doesn't it?
Nossa, velho, o que a NiP tá
Kraber could certainly
jogando?
do a lot as RRQ get eliminated.
Os caras não souberam a hora de ir
That's a
embora,
second place
velho.
team eliminated. So that's second and fourth now out of the lobby early. And again, everyone licking their lips.
Here comes GG again!
They will not let them go.
GK trying to sweep behind as well. Somehow Wolves are still alive. No idea how. It's an absolute mess on this southern side of zone.
We've not really been able to talk about where the zone's pulling. It's going to fragment, of course, but
Wolves
then it's
aqui?
going to the northern side.
Nem fudendo.
There's going to be a couple of buildings that are in there as PXX eventually get confirmed as eliminated from the competition. Sorry, from the server, not the competition just yet. Careful, careful. I won't eliminate anyone too early. But it's not looking good for them in 12 points as JDG on 49 points. One of the chasing teams.
Que isso? Que isso?
Floating by name, floating by nature. Soars through the sky. Off the back of the double jump and gets an easy finish. As now we go over to Zipline Mafia once again. By the way, Shopify Rebellion, who were here a long time ago, if you're wondering where they are, they're all the way at the northern side.
Ó o Wolves aí ainda. Reviveu?
They pulled off the impossible. No Name
Nem fuder.
does not show up on radar.
Much to the delight of the Wolves fans in-house as well.
Caralho, a Wolves conseguiu resetar, mano. Mas a Zipline tá ali.
In the overalls. And it's so important you get some of these extra placement points on the board, especially when you see some of those falling around you.
Nossa, mano.
Because if teams at the top are not getting the points, those chasing you are definitely going to be picking them up.
No Name is almost single-handedly keeping Wolves alive here. Now the phase dome is down. And if you're crazy, Khan and Wenex, I think you're just sitting there at the moment and thinking, do you know what, we trust you, just take us anywhere. They are bang center of zone, but they have absolutely no cover. Crazy Kong somehow stays alive here. Dino's been eliminated in the meantime. Gen G are fighting them, but Wolves are just going crazy, trying to find a corner, trying to find somewhere safe.
Every door is blocked. Gen G get eliminated elsewhere. TIE are going to be on the other side of this, and nades start to come out.
Cara, e se a Wolves ganhar aqui, mano, vai ser muito pica.
Because Wolves, they just need somewhere to call home. Finally, they break the door down. And they're going to take this fight to TIE.
No Name, more damage. Still has that Kraber in the back pocket, by the way. Don't forget about that thing. And they take control of the door as well, so now, with Catalyst in the composition, at least they know they
Se a Wolves ganhar aqui vai ser estupendo, guys.
That's somewhere at least for them to play their backs against.
I think they're just a little bit worried about from height, are they going to get shot? At the moment, they are going unseen. Oh.
Que isso?
Trying to put on a show for us. We might see a few of those attempts.
Calma, galera.
It doesn't work. Try again. Maybe the thermite will create the opening here. As TIE on that high ground.
Vai ter que subir.
No fear.
They're slowly forcing them higher and higher. There's only so many levels here in this building.
That wall's going to need a replaster. And you can do this due to the infinite ammo. Still not connecting with the no scopes.
All it takes is one.
Meu Deus do céu.
This is the one. I feel it.
When the Wolves fans praying for
A GK ali, a GK vindo.
Okay, maybe next
Fudeu.
Maybe the next one.
Eles subiram, vou pegar a ti.
Well, GKF just ported above. Zipline Mafia are trapped to the moment. Kajak has to swing past to try and create a path for excuse to
A VK foi eliminada, mano.
That's VK Gaming eliminated in those moments as well.
Meu Deus, a VK foi eliminada, velho.
On that northern side still. With now JD Gaming joining them. Kajak as a solo on the Pathfinder still alive. Wolves, by the way, has been, I don't know how they're here. I don't know how they're alive. But I can tell you that they
Não,
are.
eles têm que sair daí,
They
velho.
can't go any higher either with GK arriving. By the way, second, third, and
Eles
fourth.
têm que sair
all out of
daí,
the lobby
mano.
right now. 9 squads remaining. Shopify Rebellion doing some damage. As you can see in the kill feed, TIE and Wolves both getting involved. And it's JDG who lost the player.
Como é que o Wolves botou o JDG?
I told you, hit one.
You were the bad luck charm. That's what it was.
Well, Zainu is bullying JDG at the moment. The mother load goes in. The knuckle clusters afterwards, but they haven't managed to finish him off quite yet. JDG still alive. I think it's Floating who's the last man there.
Shopify Rebellion, if they can take out JDG,
Véi, muita gente no prédio só, mano.
I only say that because they'll be the only team on the north. Everyone else is in the buildings of Fragment on this southern side right now. That is 7 teams within these buildings, whether they're on top, down below, or sandwiched in between.
É muita gente num prédio só, véi. Vai acabar.
The legend composition is going to be a big factor. The wraiths come into play.
Calma, Wolves, calma, mano.
Catalyst might go crazy in this end game as
A
well.
JDG tá no jogo ainda, velho.
Oh yeah. And buy a little bit of time just to isolate a
Mas os
fight.
caras tão apertados ali.
Away from the lobby. Then you might have a pretty good
Shopify
time.
tá marcando ele.
Position though for Shopify Rebellion. The only worry is if everyone starts to get this Wraith portaling into the middle. You have to make sure you bully them away as quickly as possible. TIE now. They go out of the frying pan into the fire and they have to send themselves back. But Zone's going to force them in once more.
Shopify have to move soon.
TIE, oh, qual foi, mano?
TIE have been eliminated. The Wraith portal does not.
TIE, que merda é
JD Gaming will
essa?
follow. Shubi the last player standing, no name by the way, with the Kraber, hits one onto Zainu.
Oh, no.
And that opens things up. There's the catwalk, but GK are in front of them. Knocks in front of them, Knock gets down!
Nossa, mano. Nossa.
And now No Name can use this to his advantage as the rest of the team pushes through. GK going to try and utilize Newcastle to get back up. But actually, Wolves, they benefit from this
Nossa,
heavily.
GK foi
As
eliminada,
GK
mano.
Esports eliminated.
A Wolves abaixou a Shopify.
Shopify go down as well. That Kraber crucified them.
A DCG tá viva ainda. Os caras querem jogo.
No Name, waiting for the opportunity to strike. Everyone is going up into the skies. But if you go up,
Tá.
you've got to come back down. Zipline
Tá.
eliminated, 4 squads remaining, and this is the No Name show.
Absolute carnage. No defensive legends, no walls to work with.
A Wolves tá ali.
It's all down to No Name. Last 3 teams.
Meu Deus.
I'd say there's no chance, but I've thought that about 3 or 4 times in this game. Caustic gas a problem. Synap tries to pull behind him, has to jump into the void. Gets second place. Oh, but with 3 alive, there's no
Ganhou!
chance.
Não, perdeu. Ah, moleque, velho. Que merda que ele fez com essa porra dessa arma.
That was a 1v1 at the end. It was a 1v1v1 in the end. We had Wraith, Axel. But DCG put up a win. And again, every single win matters, every single point matters. It puts DCG back into the conversation of qualification. They're not quite in those top 6 points, but they do put themselves within 5.
I am absolutely flabbergasted by what I saw from No Name in that game. If you don't know who he is,
A Wolves podia muito ter ganhado aqui, mano.
it's No Name.
The man who shall not be named, but boy can he hit a shot when he's needed.
Think of the reset. Think of the survivability. Think of the portals. Think of them taking control of that door outside the building. It just felt like they had no right to be in that endgame.
It puts Wolves to 67 points in 2nd place. They are now in touching distance of those match point finals. And the team from APAC South who dominated their own region, but then struggled on day 1, lackluster in day 2, but then suddenly came to life once more.
Olha o high ground
And
que
if you
esse
think of
moleque
what they
pegou.
went throughout that
Meu
entire
Deus,
game, somehow found a building to play in the end, bullied TIE away. And they get into this, look at this final circle, look at how many players alive, the singles, in the end, it was the Axel that came out on top. I thought for sure one of the Wraiths was going to win in a zone like that.
Don't be mad, no.
Ele errou a troca de arma, velho. Ele pegou a sniper, mano. Por um segundo ele não matava aquele cara, velho.
I mean, Wolves, they still put up 17 points in that game, only 2 points less than DCG. Sure, neither team able to have one of those mammoth games where you put 25 plus up. But again, it's just about staying in the race at the moment for those top 6 positions. And boy, is it getting close.
Dare you? Dare you start talking points? Dare you start talking about who's in the right places and who's in the wrong ones?
I think GK are very close. A few more points for GK, they should be good for match point finals. The same could be said for Wolves, maybe another 7 or 8 for them. RRQ are edging closer, Entos 436 as well, but then Dinos and NIP, they are still in that danger zone. Zipline Mafia and For Fun are on the chase. It's certainly going to be an incredible last two here to see who gets through our survival stage and into those match point finals.
This is the results of the game that we just saw. Relove DCG, first place, the 1v1 clutch.
Que coisa,
They get
velho.
the 7 KP alongside it. Wolves have no right to be in second place, but they are due to the sheer will of No Name.
Muito quase,
And
velho.
just thinking back to that last circle as well, DCG jumping up onto the
queria ver o
lamppost, 2 of
replay,
them
pô.
got up there. And at first you think you're just such an obvious target,
Replay
but
da
actually
visão
when
da
everyone's
Wolves,
panicking, a lot of it's eye level. Not many people look up because everyone's in portals, everyone's in queues, everyone's just trying to stay alive.
And at the bottom there, flat, 0 points for them. Wow. I mean, that was, I think, the most fun I've had so far here. And the ALGS Split 1 playoffs at EWC, that was an incredible game. And now we still have 2 more to go. World's Edge awaits. And the last 2 games remaining in the survival stage are coming up right after this break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Os caras estão muito concentrados, velho. Guys, vamos ver a... Pô, quero ver a jogada de novo, mano.
Celeste might go crazy in this end game as well. If you...
Cadê? Pô, mano, foi muito quase, mano. Olha isso, mano. Tava 1 a 1, mano. O cara voando ali. Ai, se ele acerta um tiro, velho. Ó, se ele acerta esse tiro, ele ganhava o jogo, mano. Olha lá, ele pegou... Ai, mano. O que ele fez aqui, ó? Ai, ele pegou o sniper. Ai, trocou. Ai. Nossa, mano.
That was a 1v1 at the end. It was a 1v1v1 in the end. We had Wraith, Axel. But DCG put up a win. And again, every single win matters, every single point matters. It puts DCG back into the conversation of qualification. They're not quite in those top 6 points, but they do put themselves...
Ó, o GK tá em primeira. Wolves Sports ficou em segundo. Dinos desceu pra quinto. Cara, cadê a DXG? A DCG, mano.
Shopify Rebellion. I mean, where to start, right? Sainu is back with
24
Fony again.
31.
He jumped in as an emergency sub.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not what they were looking
VK
for, but it looks
tá
like
com
they're doing pretty
33,
good, right? I mean, obviously, they don't have to jump that
conseguir,
far
né,
from what they're
VK?
used to because Fony and Sainu go way back.
Yeah.
Don also had coached Fony before, so the strats are probably similar to what he's been experiencing, and yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it looks fine, right?
They got the chemistry there, man. I know you're dropping your earpiece and everything. Listen, Nasky, he is one of our great personalities, and to me, that means you're seeing interesting things. So for surprises, who surprises you the most? Who are the teams that have kind of caught your eye for good or for bad reasons?
I mean, for bad reasons might be Aurora, because Aurora was EU champions coming into this. I mean, this is a strong team. Haruka has proven himself as the IGL many times in a row.
Right.
Obviously,
he's a world champion.
He is a world champion, and in fact, also a world champion, previous EWC winner.
That's right.
And OJ, obviously, EU staple.
Yes.
You know, it's a strong roster. You would imagine them already being called to the finals, already been doing something crazy, but you know, they're in survivors, and they're actually not doing too good right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll turn.
All right, man. Well, I know Dino's another team you caught your eye on. We have to get back into these games, though. Nasty, thank you so much for joining us on stage. We hope to see you around. He'll be in the stands if you're here at EWC watching, so say hello to Nasty as well. It's time to get back to our casters because we got a couple more games to go before we see our final teams set for Saturday, actually.
That's right, Rain Day. We still have 2 more games to go. Which of these remaining teams will go home is the question. And listen, if you're gonna give me another POV of Wolves, No Name going crazy like that, sure, he didn't get the dub, but he, oh my goodness, put on a classic performance. 8 KP for them, but it was DCG who ended up taking the win with 7 KP. And we still got 2 more games on World's Edge.
And as we go through and look at our teams, Vicky, it's really starting to feel like the beginning of the end. As after these 2 matches, 14 teams will go home, and they will do everything that they can to prevent that and advance on to the match point finals just tomorrow. Here on your screen, 16 kills for Ninjas in Pajamas of their 38 total, currently situated in 6th place. Knowing that the benchmark is 60 points and trying to break through that, every team behind them just a handful of points keeping them in there. Even 11th place, Shopify Rebellion with 50 points. Just a win. Like, I'm talking like a 15, 20 point win and something happening in the teams just above them. You're in that top 6, Vicky.
It's just crazy to see how tight it's looking for a lot of these teams, Tiff. You know that these players are feeling the pressure. You talk about the cutoff, you talk about NIP reeling with 60 points. I mean, the 2-point difference alone. I mean, even if you look on the other side of the teams, Shopify with those 50 points, Gen G, who are now ramping up, it took them a bit of time, but the fact that they've been able to try to match pace with the rest of these early placement squads who were able to find that aggression. We got game number 9 out of 10 on the horizon, guys. I mean, we've lost out on Fuse. We've lost Sparrow, Watson. I mean, what's next at this point? Maybe the Bangalores. I mean, we saw some of them, maybe more Axos. We're going to have to find out. The fact that Newcastle has made it this far is also crazy.
Yeah, it is quite interesting that Newcastle lives to see another day, but with that initial ban coming through and losing out on Fuse, it's the resurgence of Caustic. Caustic to be able to give them access to the ring consoles. Thanks for the good look at the circle and where we're headed towards. Dinos from staging will be able to have a quick rotation. You can see JD Gaming already dropping the evac and focusing on where they want to play from. For Virtus Pro and PXX that are over in Lava Fissure and Countdown, that ring console that Countdown has, you're going to want access to that, which is exactly what PXX is poised to do.
Really good call out when it comes to getting the information, especially looking at how this zone is pooling. A little bit of a difference maker here as we move over to Lava Fissure instead of going over to the outskirts of Fragment East and taking to the skies. Wolves, man, their fans are going crazy right behind us, and for all the right reasons. No Name on the Wraith, going back to back, rolling out with the Bangalore, by the way, and the Cap. It's crazy too to see, as you already see, feeling some of that pressure when Shimmy-shinning his way inside this building, having to cover his back with the nade. Needs some help here, hopefully gets it, because it's NIP who tried to isolate him.
And PXX, who have laid siege towards VP here, have pushed them out and taken down Ozus. With one already down and another bleeding, Virtus Pro have left the lobby. Here's the deal, Vicky. With 2 matches to go, and if you're in like 19th place like PXX are, the rookies from APAC North, what do you have to lose at this point?
Exactly.
You set fire to the lobby.
Time to cause chaos. This is literally the perfect time right now. This is what I love when it comes to our ALGS lands. We get a little bit of a mix-up on the rule set where these teams are playing so desperate when you have 2 more games to go. PXX had nothing to lose. They sent it onto VP, who honestly, being on that later half of the overall standings, I mean, not even having an opportunity, it's going to be literally a miracle. I don't think it's going to happen here. But now you take a look at the teams who want to soak up more of these points, the teams who are so close to making it in this top 6. Ziplining around is going to be Zipline Mafia, Kazak being on that pathy, playing off with the Bangalore from Excuse as well as the Cossack from Weak Q, but you can see the pings coming in. They're isolated in the Lava Siphon, but there will be Flat who are trailing right behind them eventually. NIP, by the way, do manage to trail behind Wolves after trying to harass that player up on the low ground. You see the side-by-side. We did see this fight just earlier from this replay. It's going to be PXX harassing VP, while Aurora on the bottom left. This is what's happening live. They're facing off against VK Gaming over by Monument. But it's the wrap up here for this fight in the way that a lot of these teams are trying to collapse on one another, because honestly, the Aurora versus VK Gaming isn't the only one. It's also E36 and Shopify with the 3P of Gen G.
The fact that you have Aurora and VK Gaming fighting, it's like your 2025 champions of EWC and your 26 champions, or 2024 and 2025. I forget what year it is sometimes, but you're right. Shopify Rebellion up in the north. Gen G Esports seek to disengage here. And honestly, sometimes you do just have to kind of focus on getting information and prioritizing that before you get to that end game. For the majority of our teams, they've already gone out west, and collapsing out here near Monument and Fragment will be difficult.
Well, Keon is frying DJ, unfortunately with the Sheila. It's happening with a lot of these teams trying to get aggressive. Shopify Rebellion are looking down at Gen G, who wanted to get the ring console information isolated before they move up E36. If they take out Neo, could easily split their attention into harassing Shopify, unless Shopify hear the shots and probably want to go in for the 3P. But having to be careful knowing Gen G right behind them. This is the fight that we were expecting. E36 in trouble though. Neither of these two players have these Evo shields. They go take the portal. He's got the Sheila. Jumping around the corner isn't going to be enough. Neo, who needs this KP, find the double knock instead. They eliminate Oobly, and now you could see that Solo, who's trying to run for their life. Can Shopify be the saving grace to involve themselves in this fight?
And this is where the game can make or break you. You're in 4th place, inside the top 6 by just 4 points. Down to a Solo, a regain needed. But what options do you have to make that happen? For now, the Wraith as the Solo. Synap will do his best to get the dynamic duo back. We turn our attention deep into zone with Tai up here on the Mirage de Trois. Umi-chan cut down from amped cover in the distance.
A lot of poke pressure, right? Chaos feeling that pressure. Playing off this low ground, we've seen zones like this end up pooling on the outskirts of Mirage de Trois, while TIE are down to a duel. F-Chan looking to heal up.
They should be able to get Umi-chan back in for now, but they do have JD Gaming. That is the team that is staring down them from that
Mano, já fui pegar mais pão ali com pasta de amendoim.
Here, you're going to be looking at a couple of different teams as people look through. Dinos out in the distance by Tai for fun, and GK that have been so consistent in acquiring points across all of our maps that we've seen. But to the north we go again for WRG Neo. Jen with a survey beacon.
Oh yeah, getting that scan too, because now they know E36 are right around the corner. You see Neo on the other side here, as they are going to be able to TP through. Thanks to having that Void Nexus activated, you could hear
Mano, a galera da Neo tá morrendo já,
being
mano.
able to find Akba on this fight. He says, take me back. He did get the crack. Doesn't want to overextend everybody. Playing a bit scared. The Kickstarter. Jigsaw does have that Axel.
De quem que é esse drone aí, velho?
On the Nitro Gate before the Kickstarter comes in from behind. Some revenge from Gen G as Jigsaw sends out his own. And now they're looking to try to take this Void Nexus before canceling it, because you have Aqua being able to find that knock onto Asia. Needs some
O drone é uma ult?
Who's trying to
Caralho.
push him behind him? No way! Coming in is going to be E36 re-involving themselves. They see the opportunity. They hear the fights. This is going to be that 3-team pile-up over by Epi.
You tell me that you immediately focus on resetting and diving back into the fight on the reset. Gen G.
Faz anos que não tomo café. Sai da minha live, Lucas. Sai da minha live, irmão.
I see that we have a couple of options, right?
Por que você não toma café, Lucas?
Skyhook and come in through the north.
É opção de vida mesmo?
Drop down, carve through Monument. But this is what awaits you out of the south. Kazakh there with the zipline to the high ground. Can they lay siege to GK? Keon, 1 HP.
This is important for Zipline Mafia, being one of those teams outside the cuffs at 58 points.
Cara, eu até...
overall underneath an NIP.
Sabe o que eu comprei esses dias aí? Eu comprei cevada pra tomar à noite, pra não ficar, tipo, tomando muita cafeína, tá ligado? Aí eu fiz uma vez só, mas eu fiz bastante e acabou sobrando. Mas eu não achei ruim, mano. Mas é tipo um chá forte, né, mano?
Looking on the other side, it's trying to stay alive on Pride Rock. They've now cleared the southern side of the zone.
Os baratos dão azia e o café cara é bom. É, então. Tem um ponto, mano. Pior que chá é barato, né? Chá é gostoso.
Outside of staging, but it's the pile up over on the outskirts of Lava and Countdown.
And Dinos, another team, NIP, the 6th place. 1 point is keeping them inside the top 6.
Mas pra quem tem azia, mano, café.
And for now, we remain inside. Dinos and flat. Another story as we see Chaos go down.
Ah, mano, se a Dinos morrer aqui de novo, fica bolado.
Investing the portal. J Future only surviving by the mobile shield. and trying to escape, but where do you go?
Well, looking to get the res, actually really smart to do it right next to the start of the portal. Oh no, but they still get the re-knock. QQ just looking at him, said, you know what, never mind, let's just take this portal instead. Where can I go? But it's still risky no matter what, because Flat are now looking at this. They heard the res, now they fully send it. They're looking to get some KP, but I mean, they're in dead last. This is just a grief for them at the end of the day. Dino now, losing out on 2. Trying to stay alive with Nano chasing down against the lone warrior DJ. Who is running for his life. Dino's currently at 64 points in 5th place. Not big of a gap, but ooh, nice little chicken name landing at the feet of Nano after he yeeted it up to the sky. Nano says, all right, we're going to still try to follow up with this here. Do we try to fully extend it? Just force us to be stuck by the tunnel side before rotating? Perhaps through landslide, because E36 now are also going into the other side of Dinos. They hear this fight, and they're going to be the sandwich to the other side of the solo, forcing Dinos to back away towards Harvester.
But what he does here, the Wraith baits him as he goes out into the circle. Enterforce 36 is lurking throughout the tunnels. They don't peek, but keep your eyes, because we have 1 med kit, 6 syringes.
I mean... Dude, what? They're still
We go back in the void.
They're griefing them. Flat is griefing that solo Dinos.
Why do they care? They're in 20th place.
I mean, what? The fact that DJ's... yeah, it's true. I mean, DJ's literally feeling this right now. We've all been here.
Meu Deus, mano.
And you're trying to stay alive as
nervoso, velho.
Squad.
And we time it. We pop the syringe. We can go into the void after this, but Flat
Ele vai morrer,
off the chase.
Ele não vai conseguir escapar disso.
My guy, you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side of this. It doesn't get easier, DJ.
It doesn't. He's forced to heal up. I mean, at least he will have some time. It is ring 3 countdown. Next year.
Nossa, por trio.
Behind WG.
Não, mas é 30 minutos chegar perto da praia? Pode
ser. So they definitely hear this.
Mas agora não, um bagulho muito de
that leads into landslide. Dinos now with that 1 solo is trying to keep the dream up for the rest of his team. He's going to fly over Neo for now while we take a look at Zipline Mafia.
Pessoal daqui
onde eu moro, that fight originally, now looking down at Flat and VK Gaming. And now Dinos, that's 1 solo. He's going to run completely around Monument.
But he lands on a replicator. We are going for a reset. Not too many heals to go. Back to Zipline. Pop the survey beacon, get the information, because Flat came back into the ring at this location.
Não sei como, mas...
And I'm saying, if we got this Hemlock, we got the breach charge, we are ready to let it fly. But there's going to be a couple of teams in our way as we make our move in through the southern side of things. Ty and VK Gaming still...
I mean, if we could look at what's happening in Landside too, because Neo were actually down to 1 member. That 1 solo of Dinos actually wrapped around them while they were fixated on getting the res, and now is alive right next to E36. So much happening on each end of the outskirts of the zone, while the zone is starting to close behind their backs. This one's gonna hurt while Zipline Mafia continue to claim names. This is a great look for this team to overtake NIP, a 1-point difference in this game 9. Remember, after this is only 1 more to go. And Zipline want to be able to secure themselves in the final lobby.
They're currently tied with 6th place, 61 points. And we keep focusing forward. Enterforce 46, you were asking about them.
Cadê o cara da Dino? Cadê o cara da
The
Dino?
blue to purple disparity. Synapse trying to take the angles, but all the nades coming through. And we are burning.
Fact that Dinos goes out like that too. Unfortunate, the solo cannot stay alive. Dire situations here with 64 points, but it really depends on how Zipline, For Fun, and even NIP rise up. With WGR looking at E36, just a matter of time. Gen.G want to prio on their rotate. NIP looking on to harass these teams on the edge of zone, while the likes of Wolves, TIE, Zipline, For Fun still powered up as Zipline are eliminated. They got to 61 points. They're still tied with NIP, but the difference is NIP are still alive. They can further themselves as Wolves with the Thermite. TPing back up, Tig now get eliminated, 14 squads left, and Wolves playing this safe with 69 total points. They know they lead the way.
And Ty fall also. But falling in 7th is Zipline Mafia, Vicky, like you said, with 1 game left to get them into the top 6.
Cadê a Dino? Tá viva
and
ainda?
1 game to further it as VKG sets their sights, but it's just LQ last standing. He knocks another. The Newcastle goes for the res. Controlling not only that, but the mobile shield, and back to the fight we go. He gets it. No!
VK Gaming get eliminated. eliminated our former EWC
matou a VK,
out of this lobby in 13th.
Que merda,
This is tough. I mean, they literally only have 40 total points sitting in 14th. No matter what, though, now Gen.G, who have been rising up, have an opportunity to slide in. They get that knock originally. You can see the portal happening right in front of E36. They're trying to keep it up here too because round 4 is closing behind their backs and they have to start moving, and ForFun are waiting for them on the other side of the edge of zone.
Just know you're getting griefed at this point. It's going to be open. It's going to be scary. And JD Gaming are center zone in the building holding. But all these teams fighting for positioning there. If you have a Newcastle, you're feeling better. Here comes Gen.G and Hypeee. A fight for the life.
Talk about the Newcastle. Kurev gets the blast with the EVA 8 double tap in hand. Oh my goodness, that nade! Gen.G do get eliminated though. They entered Force 36, now Showface right behind them. And now NIP feeling pressure, but right behind them, having to be careful. It's going to be Synetic. That may be the insurance that they need off the longbow. Now you have the Kickstarter you have to worry about. Synap taking to the skies, having to drop down, hide behind these Newcastle walls, trying to get the reset and the res. ForFun now Showface, but E36 are sandwiched between DCG and ForFun.
He's trying to break the wall. He's trying to rip their cover away from them.
Nossa, velho.
And you even have the caustic ult for ForFun.
Como é que o cara viu o outro ali?
On what they need. Enter Force 36, get amped covers up. Their wall still being poked and prodded. Amped covers going down. And we are turtled.
Stop harassing us, please. We're trying to stay alive. They break down the barrier. DCG also try to scoop that up because it's all about this KP.
One mobile shield from a Newcastle holding them, and they're sending it full fire. How do we get out the Wraith with a portal?
He keeps them alive for right now. They do get the knock temporarily, but this portal play, Synap could be the savior. Oh no, a horror movie for Synap as he tries to keep E36 up. He gets the TP, he gets Hoobly, and they're looking to get this red without they look behind him. This is so much pressure that they're feeling, and ForFun are not letting loose.
Because E36 haven't had a moment to reset. ForFun is just sending it back to the portals. They go straight into the hands of Deep Cross Gaming. And Synap tries.
Dude. He took the... They're still chasing him. Everybody's looking at this team. He's still running for his life. The fact that they took the portal back, by the way. Synap, the fact that he gets behind this crate to pop this med kit. The Wraith plays are immaculate. 10 squads left and Aurora get eliminated next. JDG getting some KP. Same thing for Wolves. Shopify to follow. And with Wolves holding the other side of the tracks, you're looking at Synetic, RQ, holding the building, holding the roof. You see the catwall coming up, blocking vision to allow this safe rotate, to allow them to move up on ForFun.
And are we gonna drop piercing spikes to prevent the climb up? Piercing spikes to on the low ground. And ForFun have a moment to breathe. You see Synap portaling in the distance yet again in the void. And for now, we hit the back of the arc sword. The caustic barrel.
And leave me alone. Oh my gosh, he's right in front of Straight from Flame. Straight from Flame does not see him.
Hey,
oh my
RQ didn't see Panic. He never saw Panic.
Synap is still alive for E36. He's seeing the action. He knows he's out of line of sight.
Nem fudendo que esse cara se escondeu, mano.
Closing the gap. He's trying to coexist.
Olha o Synap, mano.
The fact that he hasn't seen him. Oh my gosh, he's hiding behind the bottom lip of the building.
That's our Wraith. That's our Wraith. That's our Wraith. Let me tell you.
Panic,
Synap
don't
right
panic.
there, but the breach charge from No Name. Does he know that Synap is there, or are we just sending to the building? No, because he's looking at RRQ.
Yeah, that's why they've been trying to harass him. I mean, the fact that they got the knock onto Straight from Flame, he gets back up. But that's why No Name is creating this space for the rest of his team. Okay, KFC, they built a house behind the amp barriers, behind the Newcastle wall, and floating. Has been finding himself catching this KP. Naughty to follow up to find Chappie. With 8 squads left, they're not giving up this house. Final zone, and a lot of these teams have congregated over to the north side, while that solo still stays alive for now. Chappie is the next victim. A lot of these split up teams. KNC now down to a duo, but once again, E36 down to that solo. And a lot of these teams, NIP too, utilizing that Nox grenade before moving up now. It's going to be
Mano, Synap tá lá ainda,
and
velho.
they portal to the truck. ForFun at their backs. Ninjas in pajamas on the low ground, fighting Deep Cross Gaming. They grab the knock onto one, Xiaoqi here. And they hold steady behind the wall, throwing the caustic barrel on him. Here comes Kina
Trope for the third party. Welcome to the Dutch oven. Cole putting down the barrels, dancing around the Newcastle wall. Vayne looking behind him.
Reage.
DCG falls.
Ai, Nipe, que isso, mano?
Has had one heck of a performance until now.
Velho.
NIP get eliminated. KNC keep themselves up. That's all still alive for right now. But Wolves, they're out for blood. They're hungry. 6 squads left. Looking down at For Fun.
And JD Gaming, you saw Naughty there disappear back into the building for a reset. And as Wolves cover the piercing spikes to prevent Synap, I feel like we should be...
Acharam ele, velho. Que merda, mano.
It's free KP, but he lived, and that is what matters when it's so close to the top, so close for our top 6 right now. RRQ.
Que merda,
Wolves get
mano.
eliminated. For Fun really only have to worry about RRQ as they face off against each other on the south side, and Kinotrope trying to dive it on to JD Gaming.
Acharam
And it's all
panic,
about
mano.
who gets sent first. And this infinite ammo behind the amped cover of Easy Flash. He's on path. He's going for the zip. He's going for JDG.
Oh, what an aggressive play from Easy Flash. It cost his life. Was it going to be worth it here? Now Streaking Flame taking the portal.
Que jogada foi essa, mano?
Next. Fun now trying to stay in this fight in the last two squads as JD Gaming go out, and so does For Fun now as they are your game 9
Quem
winners.
ganhou?
They
A
moved
For
up.
Fun
The
ganhou?
pace of play was immaculate. Now they're sitting in second
Cara,
place
For
in the
Fun
overall
ganhou,
standings with that
velho. Que
performance
isso,
alone.
mano.
For Fun, 9 kills, 3,300 damage. A game when they needed it most to launch themselves up the
RRQ
series.
tá feliz, hein, mano.
For Team RRQ, a brilliant game there to get into the end. 13 points for them. JD Gaming from the
Pô, os
outside
caras
looking
real
in,
estão
trying
jogando
to
pela
get into the
For
top
Fun,
6.
né, mano?
Was it enough, Vicky?
I mean, getting that dub with 9 KP, they played that so
Caralho,
safe.
guys, muito pica.
I was wondering here, man, RRQ, they got aggressive. You saw how they were able to try to play ring around the rosy around that rock, man. The ring closing in right behind their backs. Allows For Fun to walk up and take another dub. Let's not forget that they won game number 1 on E District with 10 KP to kickstart this entire 10-game series.
Yeah,
And this is on the other side. Roy on the screen. Deep Cross Gaming.
Ele é muito
a top 10
tiltado,
finish there.
velho.
But we're still doing everything we can to get into the
Para,
top
viado.
6.
Tem mais jogo ainda.
And with 1 game to go, and how close the scoreline is across the teams.
Para, meu mano. Para, meu mano. Tem mais game.
It's not
Para.
impossible. You're 9
Felicidade,
points
véi.
out of the top 6.
But now you have to look at the teams that are in the later half of this entire lobby and understand that you could literally wipe out every single person. It would just be impossible to find yourself
Pô,
in this top 6.
DXG,
That's
mano.
why
Se ficar
we
nessa
saw the
aí,
desperation from our
não
solo
consegue, né,
player
velho?
on E36. The Wraith trying to cling on for dear life. With how tight it is in the top 6, literally 69 for E36, surviving alone gave them that placement For Fun. Being able to find themselves in
Pô, o
that
cara do
second place
DXG
spot.
ele não
The
aguenta,
difference
pô. Ele tá
maker between sixth
desde
place,
quarto,
because our
mano,
top
que
6
ele
make it
perde
in,
e já fica...
and 7th place where JD
Mano,
Gaming
fica
were
num
getting that
estado
KP.
deplorável.
It's like a few points, like what, 3-4 points? It's crazy to see how tight it is. This last game is going to mean everything. Will we see teams grief each other? We saw the attempt from Flat. They have nothing to lose. I mean, Aurora going out right there. Aurora sitting in 16th with 38 points. It's a tough day to be an Aurora fan. But this is what happens at LAN. This is what happens when you see what these teams are playing for when their backs are against the wall. And then you look at, even at Shopify, who are at 52 total points in 11th. If they take this lobby by a storm, it all depends on this final game on World's Edge. It's crazy to see how this Survivor stage has played out. Don't go anywhere, because we'll find out what the results are looking like after this final game and after this final break.
We booked Esports World Cup up.
Caraca, guys. Isso, animação? Ah, só um negocinho só. Guys.
This is the result of a loss at
Se o DXG, mano,
2026.
vai continuar com esse
And
climinha
this
aí,
was the
mano,
fate of
nem
TL
joga o
and Pirates
próximo, tá
in
ligado?
Apex Legends
Nem joga o
alongside
próximo.
5 other squads in our group stage. Then 14 teams face the same fate in our survival stage, while 6 continue on to match point finals. 20 teams with their hopes and dreams still alive. The opportunity to place their team's key at the top of the totem. This is what it's all about. This is what all of our teams are competing for the chance to do, to etch their names in the history books of EWC. It doesn't get any better than this.
That's right, Glitter. It doesn't get any better than this because we're going into the final game of survival stage, and boy, are the stakes high. I mean, you heard the caster say how close everything is. We'll take a look at the overall in a little bit, but we're gonna talk about an outstanding performance in No Name from Wolves. He was almost able to clutch it 2 games ago, by the way, but still, insane performance when they needed somebody to step up.
I mean, for every MNK user in the entire world, he is probably one of the 2, him and Asia probably, but he is probably the player you're looking at currently right now after that phenomenal game right there. It could have probably been the clip of the year had his teammates knockdown shield not stopped 2 of the bullets and he finished up that game. It would have been the clip, I think. Phenomenal.
There was just no stopping him. I'm like, from the Kraber to the Kraber to the Kraber, from the Wraith, the phase right behind the team, and then I thought he had it. I thought it was it. I got you guys were sitting near me. I got out of my chair, almost spilt like my food all over me, but it was such an immaculate start to finish. And you know, even though he didn't get the win, and you could see actually No Name, you know, just sitting there in his chair, shaking his head like he just lost, but did all of this. So it was kind of like, man, you need to congratulate yourself, obviously, for that entire play. But yeah, it's still kind of a crazy feeling just to miss out so small on that win.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, I thought he was going to be a little bit excited. But honestly, Snipe, I want to know, you as an ex-pro player, what was going through his mind after such a performance and just coming short of clutching it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what we watched. He's only thinking about those one mistake that he might have made in his head and how he could have gotten his team that win and what those points differential would have meant to them heading into this final game, because it still is that close. We've seen some teams jump up 15 spots in 2 games. We have 1 game left, and it's going to be a masterclass. Honestly, as a controller player, watching him in the actions per minute, I was just like, yeah, would have died there. Would have died there. Would have died there. You know, but at the same time, you know, I was like, put myself in his shoes. It was very impressive.
I mean, when you're talking about how close everything is, E36 right now with 69 points. If it would have ended just now, they would have been able to make it to the match point finals. But JD Gaming, I mean, JD Gaming is currently on their tail with 65 points. Even DCG, who has been able to get a win today, could make a push towards those top 6. That leaderboard is going to be shuffling in a big way, Graceful.
I mean, even seeing when we get to his second page as well, probably another 5 teams could potentially still make it, because when you get a win and you get to add all the kills as well, and depending on which team soaks the points as well, as we can see right here, even from 40, I would say, you could even do it. Copium, even Aurora could make it if they drop a huge win, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. The teams in the probably 5th to 10th are going to make it happen, but it's going to be really, really tight.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing No Name being able to step up for Wolves. Aurora, I know it's a little bit of copium, but Effect would have to put up a lights-out performance, Snipe.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of teams we're looking at, you know, the Shopifys, the Auroras, a lot of teams at that we know have the talent. But could we just give a huge shout out to For Fun for the first team to have 2 wins in this, game 1 and now game 9. So they're definitely having fun. They most likely secured themselves, but there is still a chance if, you know, a lot of teams don't show up in this game. But honestly, it's really good for them. I think they're one of the bigger underdogs heading into this. A lot of that roster has had very unfortunate events leading up to this, not making any grand finals in the past few events. So for them to come out firing in the most important tournament with the stakes only at the top 6 moving on is very impressive.
I mean, even then, you know, I've teamed with Tyler. I've known Nags for a long time. And Cinetic, we had him pop off already in Pro League. And him saying himself that, hey, all I had to do was believe and play the way I wanted to play, which was actually a fragger, he said, and that's why he went full on roller. He swapped from MK to roller, very common in this competitive esport, and he just made it happen. And they're here right now, pretty much stamped their tickets to the finals. What better way is it to make that happen?
Yeah, I called them the consistency kings, didn't I? And you can see it now coming to fruition because, you know, they're slow and steady. Yeah, they got the wins under their belts, but honestly, like, that is what you need to play. And then, you know, you look at RRQ and Easy Flash going in there, doing something crazy with the Pathfinder and failing from there. So, like, they've been playing their game the whole time.
Yeah, and Graceful, right now we're looking at the Band Legends going into the final game.
Yes.
What's currently popping out at you?
I mean, the biggest thing is Alter got banned so late, actually, and we saw Dinos get use out of that for the longest of time. RRQ as well played it for quite a bit. So I think that some of these teams is ahead on a strategic level. The only thing is that, sure, the final state tomorrow could be longer, could be a little bit shorter, but seeing that you have to, like, being able to pull that off in that moment, not just following what everybody else is playing, but saying, hey guys, why is Alter, she's not banned, let's just roll with her for as long as we can, and it really paid off huge.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the biggest things about that is the game Dinos won, the Stormpoint game out by Northpad. They were the only Alter in the lobby, and they won the game. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this character this underused at this
I
stage?
specifically remember Snipes saying, why are they not using this broken character?
Yeah, literally. I was like, it took till game 9. We kept talking about the legend bans, and for that to move on, we used to see that character banned first or second back, you know, not even 1 or 2 events ago, and now we're at this point. So we talk about the, you know, it'll be really interesting to see the comps coming out into this game 10 because of so many legend bans. I mean, a lot of these players are probably digging pretty deep into their character pool and how they can perform, so it'll be interesting to see what we come up with.
Yeah, now we gotta think about some of those teams towards the bottom, right, that have absolutely nothing to lose. That can just cause chaos in this lobby. Aurora being one of them. We've seen some of the other teams as well. Which team do you guys think is gonna cause even more chaos going into this last match and maybe stop some of those top teams that are trying to be in there in the top 6, just a couple points away from getting into the top 6?
I mean,
véi, os caras da DXG,
obviously I'm rooting for Aurora,
DCG, só não podem ficar mal, tá ligado?
At this point, I am really stretching thin, trying to believe and cope. But I would like to say this game is going to be absolutely crazy. We saw 14 team Circle 2 zone yesterday. Today, I mean, it might as well be 10 because the teams that are already pretty much secured into finals are feeling super happy, relieved, and they can just play for fun, honestly, and just go run everybody down. Whereas everybody else on the bottom is absolutely terrified, but they literally have to throw haymakers because now you need like 30 points, 40 points to secure a spot. That's no easy win.
Grace, I got to ask you a question. Since we've been here, this last game, we saw a lot of the teams that were in the bottom 5, they all desperate had died early. There was a lot of the middle of the pack and the top that were still left. If you're going into this last game and you're one of the teams that's kind of sitting in the middle, are you going for the kills, or are you thinking that so many teams are going to be desperating just get to the end game?
I mean, the teams that might be on the cusp of 60.
Galera, vocês viram que já baniram tudo também, né?
Just play for, like as you said, go
20 ban já.
Easy, make sure to hold space properly to get those points on the board.
20
and at that
ban,
point, you're kind of playing into hoping that it doesn't shuffle too much. Everybody beneath that, play ranked, boys. This is literally ranked at this point. You just gotta drop 20 kills as a team to make up for it. I mean, you have to honestly pull up. We saw a little bit of views. Pull out the Rev Octane, like just do something, because like you need a 20 bomb.
The final game is ready. Let's see who's gonna be stepping up as we send it over to Barney and Luti.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are fast approaching, dropping into our 10th and final game of the survival stage. It is now or never. It is do or die. And so let's set the scene, okay? Between 10th place and 6th place right now is just 9 points. So everything can change in this map. So we're going to talk about our bubble teams for a second. That's from 5th to 8th, where everything can move. So if you hear your team name, make some noise. In 5th, we have Ninjas in Pajamas, E-Star. In 6th place, we have Enter Force 36. In 7th place, we have JD Gaming. And in 8th place, we have Dinos currently. And it's going to get spicy, Lucy.
Bora Dinos! Bora Dinos!
Entendu, mesdames et messieurs, on y est, les Français, je compte sur vous. C'est la toute dernière game. C'est maintenant que ça se joue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last game of this
C'est le tout de game.
Be ready because make some noise, it's now or never!
Let's head over to our casters and get this game underway.
Final game, everybody. It is the Survivor stage. It's do or die. JD Gaming know what is at stake. We saw
Último jogo, guys. Vambora.
65 points with their back.
Esse aqui, mano, vai ser de arrepiar, velho.
Being in the top 6, they're right outside
Olha lá.
of the tip. This is it right here.
Mano, o primeiro time que morrer aqui já vai levantar da plateia, já vai, mano, tirar o microfone e tacar o teclado no outro, né? Bem. Nossa,
from his years of
velho.
competitive experience. Those boys were 10th in the Americas, Split 1 Pro League, and now they're fighting for a chance.
Eu tô falando, se a DXG foi eliminado de primeira aqui, aquele japinha, mano.
Who's gonna grief who? This is what I always look out for.
Desculpa,
Who is
japinha
going to
não,
grief who?
desculpa.
Because Aurora now are already chasing right behind KNC
Desculpa,
currently.
aquele homem asiático.
As it's going to be the little trade-off here in Monument, but then you highlight the teams that desperately really wanted to stay alive. I mean, Kino Cho being at 13th with 44 points, I mean, it would literally be a miracle, right? So then when you have this face-off right here, it could just be
Nossa!
an open season for the teams who want to get some easy KP. It's going to be Hierarcho who's going to be able to now try to send it over to the other side of the
Caralho,
wall.
o cara tá de miragem!
This has just been a different story for a team that led the way within their EMEA region of Pro League.
It's no Rev Octane, but breaking out the Mirage, the Axel, the Bangalore. The only thing on their mind right now is run it down. And as we look at the ring, we're pulling up to that top right-hand side. Deep Cross Gaming, your 10th place team already just on the outskirts. Shopify Rebellion enter first 36, also making their way up as JD Gaming went for a quick rotate. I'm looking at Wolves, your third place team, 75 points by the way, which should in theory be the statistical benchmark for 6th place, crawling up through the south.
You know it's cooked too, right? When you see some teams rocking out a double vantage. I mean, it's tough. You see that one Mirage, right, from Aurora. This is what you can expect in our final game for the teams that know they have nothing to lose. Aurora now trying to grieve for fun, by the way. A team at 77.
Genetics down.
Now getting that first knock. Aurora are upset, and if they can't have it, nobody can. Effect now moving up. Getting slowed down by the Cossack Barrels. They lose out Hierarcho, though, and being able to follow up next. Goes out next for fun. Get eliminated. Aurora grief them in the process. They look at what was going on with Kino Choke. They deviate their attention. They take care of for fun. Let's see if they're safe. But as you mentioned, two have 77 points at the least.
Statistically speaking, we should be good. But this lobby could be wild. As Flat, their only choice to be hyper aggro, and Zipline Mafia in 9th. Find one of them.
Getting a little bit of revenge for the Dino boys, I ain't gonna lie, because Flat was trying to grief them, and it actually set Dinos back a little bit because they're sitting in 8th place overall with 64 points. While we do have a quick pause, it's important to highlight why Zipline Mafia wanted to get the KP. The mid-climb right there, too.
Bro, Spider-Manning.
The mid-climb, and also highlighting the fact that Flat now are down to a solo, with Zipline Mafia knowing what they need to do to find themselves in the top 6. Any KP with 63 points, 1 point difference between themselves and Dinos.
Pausaram, mano.
2 points.
Primeira vez que pausaram no campeonato, mano.
Between Zipline and JD Gaming. That is just how tight it's been as we take a look at the audience. But man, this zone is pulling all the way up to the edge. The cheers from the Zipline Mafia fans, man. We saw them try to take that fight over by Pride Rock on the outskirts of Mirage Etoile. They knew what was at stake here.
All the way from Kazakhstan to support the boys at Zipline Mafia. They just need 6 points to get into that 6th place slot. But honestly, Vicky, the fact that you have to kind of prey on the downfall of other teams in this lobby to fall so that you can take their place is one of the craziest things. But hearts are gonna break today.
Happens to every single LAN, and it always saddens me, but this is what happens when you want to climb your way to the top. This is the level of competition that we have on our hands.
It's what you scrim for. It's what you wake up early for, or 20 minutes before scrims if you're some people, it happens, right? But you lock it in. You give up everything in order to be your best, to get into those match point finals, to hoist that trophy, and back into the game we go.
Tá, exposou.
What a place to come back at, by the way.
Drop said not today. They're going to avoid taking any damage as they take the portal, avoid the nade. Heard that Arc Star, and Drop now moves up together with the rest of GK. This is the risky part too. When you're at 71 points, you know the teams that want to try to troll up from behind you, may not have anything to lose, want to be able to scoop you up, try to diminish your chances on making it within the top 6, but they do get away because PXX show face against TIE. We get to see Zipline now follow up on the double that they saw and take out onto flat earlier before, but still down to a solo. That's what matters here. We have to see if they were able to get the reset. It does look like they did. The fight over on the back end between TIE and PXX. I mean, PXX, no chance for them, honestly. I mean, sitting second to last right on top of flat. Same thing for TIE. It's going to be really difficult, nearly impossible. But for Zipline Mafia, it's not impossible for this team. That's why they're looking to farm fly. I mean, hey, more for us. If anything, we'll absolutely take those. You think we left? Absolutely not. Kazak with the RE45 flat get eliminated. They get the revenge for the Dino squad. And they get the Gen G gets eliminated. That's it for Gen G. They're outside the top 6. They only have 46 points in 12th place.
But Aurora wipe another team. And if we're looking for 75, we're still 31 points outside of that number. But team by team, as they fall, they're channeling the Aurora spirit of old. The Aurora that shakes things up and causes chaos.
Mano, Zipline e Aurora estão dando a vida aqui pelo jogo pra não ser eliminado.
Imagine doing that in game 2.
I mean, maybe when they feel like they want some revenge, they want to grieve other teams, this is the different look of Aurora. I mean, they literally have to completely wipe out this lobby. Oh my goodness, the sniper spike. Remember I talked about the vantage? We have 2 vantages.
É, o time da Aurora fez uma aposta muito grande nesse jogo, né,
as a solo, it's another one of these teams.
Miragem.
Really difficult last 9-game series. We've had 10 total games in the survivor stage, and they are literally trying to survive. Dino too, being one of the teams on that cusp, they still need to show face. You see Zyno on the other side with Shopify Rebellion on the other end with 52 total points, but the way that they're bunkering down from the other side, while Cole from NIP do find floating, that's going to be a really important fight to look at between JD Gaming.
For Dino now, in 9th place. You just kind of have to amped cover it out, hold on to your building, and do what you can. They had a 26-point win in map number 6. And it still wasn't enough to keep them in the top 6. For Zipline Mafia, currently 3 points outside that top 6. Aurora meets them on the outside of Geyser. At least you do have Kazak on the path for some extra mobility, but choices are going to have to be made, and choices will be costly.
I mean, Aurora knows with the survey beacon. They know who's waiting for them at Geyser, and Zipline Mafia have way more to lose, obviously, than Aurora. That's going to be scary. RRQ, I'll be real here, are pretty safe. They have 80 points. They're literally in 1st place. It does benefit them when you look at the POI draft that goes into that final lobby. But that same pressure that applies to Zipline Mafia, Dino, JDG doesn't really apply there. While PXX know that, are trailing behind them, trying to harass them when you got nothing to lose. Headlock in hand. See, by the way, in the feed, Cole still finding heads, still finding Zynu without giving up their position over to the north side.
To be expected. And you're 100% right with ROQ as you see Strafing Flame out into the distance, PXX hunting them down. It would take, what, 6 teams to leapfrog above 80? That's not happening. Statistically, they're good. But PXX still out for blood.
Caçou demais.
They're going to find Strafing while they're at it too, right? Any KP for them, but they just know at this point. Moving on to the next one, TIE being another one. I see how they're going to be trying to reset on the outskirts against WGR Neo. Another one of those teams here.
A little ballistic. I love the variety we're getting here into game number 10. The only issue with some of these teams down in that the bottom 15, right? If they point sponge the kills, the teams trying to get in top 6 will find it difficult. F-Chan, 1 HP. dives to the inside. Ults come through, and when you have one member left standing, you're chasing down the white Grim Reapers.
You know, they're now staying alive here and going to be able to get this reset as well as this finishing blow. It's just kind of those fights in the skirmishes over by countdown, but honestly, those two teams being on the later half of things, not really at risk here, considering that they won't break it. But now you have been in the top 3 this whole time, putting on a masterclass, dealing with the Reapers, the Grim Reapers, but effects. Is putting on a performance himself while Wednesday's alive for now. He does get traded off though. It's gonna be Zipline Mafia scooping that up for themselves. Aurora get eliminated. Oh, they're out of this lobby. They won't make it for the finals.
Done with the tournament as well as Ty out in 16th place. Back to Wolves we go. 78 points should seal the deal for them to advance on to match point finals tomorrow. For GK, NIP, Force 36, those are what people are looking to take, and it's Zipline Mafia trying to get the kills to do so.
This is so crazy from Zipline Mafia. This is such a good plan from them. They're claiming names, they're finishing these knocks. No Name running for his life, but Wolves being another one of those teams with 78 points. Remember, For Fun got eliminated first. They are at 77 points and still in the top 3. A safety net, while Wolves, though, do overtake them. Getting that extra KP puts them in that second place spot. Staying alive here and getting this nice drive by, because I hear Vantage, though, in the game. VP lose out on Prestis. Virtus Pro right now. Being in the
Wolves está ferrado, hein?
Once again, another one
Menos
of those
2
teams,
players, Vision Pro também.
Came out swinging in Pro League now, falling short alongside Aurora that we said goodbye to earlier, but looking side by side at what's at stake, it's really
Nossa, esse cara com a Nil, mano.
Cleaning up this KP.
Virtus Pro, the Virtus Pro are gone, ran right into the trio of WGR Neo. Getting all of the loot here on the western side. Now we set our attention to where we need to go. Keep in mind, guys, VKG did get a care package. They do have a Kraber, and they are in the center of zone. But that team is in 15th place on the leaderboard. So keep tabs on who needs to rotate. Dinos on that eastern side have Kenotropes just outside of them. Zipline Mafia and Wolves coming from Fragment. And the epicenter team is Force 36, who have a longbow and have angles on the teams trying to make some of these moves. That's why we've seen them absolutely bully some of the teams rotating around that area.
And it's good because when you have to highlight just how many points you need, this is what this final game's all about. This is why you're seeing these teams kind of going out of their way outside of zone, while Wolves trying to keep themselves alive because Zipline Mafia are on the hunt. A team that needs this way more. Neo do get eliminated in your feeds, but just to recap, it's insane to talk about that. VP will not be in this final lobby.
Os caras foram
Top header here when it comes to Pro League. Same thing for Aurora. It's hasta la vista, but it's making way for these other teams to now create their own path. The Zipline want to put their name on the table. They take out Wolves Esports. They're hungry with 4 KP in the pocket of Week Q.
And they have 8 kills, 12 squads remaining, and it's still not enough to be in top 6. It's because the benchmark keeps moving. Force 36 is finding kills inside the top 6. Ninjas in pajamas with those placement points still holding out by just 1 point. So what does Zipline Mafia do? You set your sights on the next team.
Who's going to be the next victim is the question. They're going to be right behind Kenotrope. Round 3 closing behind their backs, and if they time this well, EK are going to be on the other side of Kenotrope. Zipline could sandwich them. They could also take a roundabout rotation from the side of Hypeee. The team RRQ would also be on the other side of those icy rocks here, with PXX inside that next zone on the outskirts of Survey Camp, as well as VK Gaming.
And GK on your screen holding the 4th place slot by just 2 points. Knocked down, dropped, healing. And at their back, they seem to have stabilized, but Kenotrope has damages, and Zipline Mafia are definitely looking to capitalize on that. Does that save GK for now? Definitely.
This is insane for Zipline Mafia right now. They just need one more KP, and they overtake it against NIP. And now KNC, noting that they're right behind them, Zipline Mafia, they see it inside the possibilities on joining the likes of Falcons, of Liquid, It's here, and now Chappie may be the next victim, but Royashi taking a different off angle. He's up on the high ground. Zipline Mafia fully healed. Has a 3-man. They get the next knock. The Caustic Gas, though, does answer back and is able to get the knock into Xyz, but it's fine. They have the number advantage. Zipline, because like playing this safe. Seeing Chappie, they need to finish him off. GK now show up, though. Has Kenotrope get eliminated. This is very risky right now because GK can move up.
But we're in fifth, and here comes GK. GK, who want to solidify their spot in that top 6, to not let it go here. Everything rides as 2 players. It's just Kazakh last alive. It's the Pathfinder. Oh, do we get a res? Do we go back to a duo?
He pulled it off, he pulled it off, he pulled it off. Let's see if they can even get closer to that. Oh no, there's another team in the vicinity. That's Team RRQ, who are now actually moving away from the edge of zone. It's one member of RRQ. I believe they may have scanned the survey beacon over by the middle of Epi. They see them from right below them, and they're griefing them. This is scary for Zipline Mafia, who are now overtaking NIP. Top 6, they have 7 points, and it doesn't stay alive. That may be it. It depends on what NIP have instead. Because NIP now, with 72 points, find themselves above. Man, they had to stay alive. Their RRQ stopped their chances. And with NIP still alive or feeling pressure from VK Gaming, I mean, placement alone, this sets up NIP to feel a little bit more secured.
And this is the next fight. Your 4th and 6th place teams could collapse here on this rotation. GK trying to not make a lot of noise. You see NIP, you see some dinos, they're down below. And Vayne with a Kraber in hand.
Honestly, with NIP winning Game 7 earlier, that's it, because they would have won anyways if there was a tiebreaker in this top 6. So NIP overtaking Zipline. It's hasta la vista to Zipline too. Good try here at that final zone now as Ninjas and Pajamas have bunkered down.
Not safe though, not safe. JDG, Dinos, Deep Cross Gaming still in it. And as we say that, JDG under fire, the mobile shield, the nades being slung to them.
Former winners of EWC will not be in that last lobby too, by the way. VKG went out earlier in 10th. DCG eliminated next, while JDG keep their dreams alive. 68 points. They're looking to overtake NIP, but the question is, can they stay alive in this pileup?
Enterforce 36 getting more and more kills is leaving them just inside the top 6. GK needs more, NIP needs more. And JDG is gonna need a lot to break into it. But I see JDG going down in the kill feed. And GK trying to take down RRQ. JDG are out!
They do not get the chance to find themselves in that final lobby, while GK, they're reforming. E36 helping them out too to secure the 2nd place spot for themselves, or maybe even overtake RRQ. They lose out on drop here. They slide in, wingman shots in hand, and GK are the next to go. Last 6 squads, RRQ lead it with 1st place. NIP see another day still. With E36, RRQ, NIP, Dinos could be the next story is the question.
Dinos need 10 points. 10 points. And Synap last alive, marked by a Vantage. At 79 points, should theoretically be safe. Dinos, on the other hand, need a miracle.
Great on the other side of this portal. The fact that they get the reset, they're looking above Shopify being the umbrella above Dino's head, the meteor that could keep them extinct. NIP now playing up the low ground. The fact that they're still alive is so good for them. Not trying to get aggressive, playing defensively. They've been peppering the damage as E36 are the next to go.
Meu Deus, mano. Olha os ninjas em pijamas,
mano. 6th place with 75 points. And as we approach the end of our final game in the Survival Series, Vayne lays siege, puts the portal at their feet.
The threat right now for NIP being Dinos, I mean, they're stuck with their backs against the wall, but NIP trying to make a play for this. They look up at Shopify, and now they know that their attention is split between 2 teams, but NIP are feeling pressure. Shopify could help them if only looks at this direction, but Dinos are also harassing them with Vayne having the Kraber in their hand. Oh my God, the collide! Are you kidding me? Oh, DJ's out, and so is Dinos, and any chance of them making it into that next round.
To the final 3 teams we go. Shopify, they drop down 64 points.
Hold.
I'm holding.
64 points of difference. Is 6th place, is 77 with DK. Vayna moves up. Alternator, Kraber in hand. He goes out. Shopify now. Down to 1. Zainu's 1 shot. Last 3 squads. PXX move up. They're looking to take the top. Shopify get eliminated. No chance here.
To the final
That's
2.
it.
This is the last fight, and PXX are your champions. But unfortunately, the top 6 is locked.
Os caras ganharam, mas eles não vão pra final, guys. Que merda, hein?
A survival stage here in Paris. The 10-game gauntlet is over. And as you look around and you see the scoreline, some celebrating, others hearts breaking, but for fun on your screen right there, who went out so early in match 10, just had to wait and see. But it's the fans who are here to support you. They support you in your wins, they support you in your losses, and they carry you through those hard times.
RRQ chants, as they deserve. The team who has taken 1st place in the Survivor stage with 89 total points. NIP surviving till the end allows them to overtake the 2nd place.
Cara, tô chateadíssimo, velho.
But now they are in 2nd. E36 at least find themselves in 3rd. But our last 6 teams who will be in our final lobby, RRQ, NIP, E36 Wolves, For Fun, who was the first to go out in that last game, have a bit of breathing room. They tied that together with GK, who are the last team for our top 6 cutoff.
Mano, o GK passou.
For the others who just missed out, Zipline Mafia, so many kills in that game, doing everything, gate kept by so many teams, fighting your way. I'm talking, we're double-digit kills. We are doing our best. But the teams in the top 6 just kept on doing more in that last game and staying alive.
It's very emotional here. Oh, Wolves, man, today. Can't wait to see more from this team, man. They were fantastic. Top 4 finish. A great performance here. No Name going crazy. I think he dropped like, what, 14 total KP over the course of these last 10 games. Wanks as well with 19.
Pô, os caras deram a vida,
Amazing
hein?
performance, and you mentioned, you know, being emotional, seeing the players that were right outside the cusp. The congratulations. This is what we love to see at our ALGS LAN. You don't get this anywhere else.
You don't. The regions coming together to celebrate. Apex South teams, Wolves Esports, we're your #1 seed. RRQ staples in the Apex South scene. And the family and the fans just waiting to celebrate. You can see right there, Mama Vane, ninjas in pajamas.
It's you know, it really touches you in a different way, but I do need to highlight the teams that unfortunately did not make it by a slim. Zipline Mafia, who started waking up, who knew what they needed to do in that last game, not surviving. So many teams looking at them, GK being part of that. That's why they needed to secure their back into that zone. Dinos, have to give credit to this team. With a lack of LAN experience, they came in swinging through Pro League and here at LAN. DJ dropping 19 kills. JD Gaming, after the performance today, Floating is your kill leader in this entire lobby with 23 total kills. Finding themselves in 9th place overall, it makes you wonder, when you dwell on certain actions in a series like this, when you have 10 games, you have to recall towards game number 1, taking that flanking angle, maybe getting that win. What could that have done?
I don't like what if moments, Vicky.
I mean, you gotta review, man. This is what happens when you got that trophy right in front of you, when you know what's on the line. This is the level of competition. Shopify, who were behind them too, bringing in Phony. Once again, it's a very hard position to be in. It's very emotional. And you have to give credit to the teams that were able to make those adjustments, such as Shopify. Even DCG coming in from the back end, but the Survivor stage is now played out. We get to welcome our next top 6 teams who do end up advancing.
Well, while everyone celebrates or gets everything together, let's get down to the stage. Barney has an interview for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the survival stage is now over. 6 teams go through into tomorrow's match point finals, and I've got the boys joining me. I've got Pricey. Pricey, dude, we just had a very quick chat before we went live, and you said that was stressful. How are you feeling right now? Does it feel like a weight off your shoulders?
Euphoric.
Euphoric, a one-word answer. I love it. Would you like to translate that?
Évidemment, eh bien, il était très stressé, mais plus que ça, il est euphorique.
I guess one of the more important questions is, how does it feel to know that your team can perform under pressure going into tomorrow?
It definitely feels great. Last 2 days haven't been great for us, obviously. Choked a pretty easy winners run, and straight into the finals, but being able to show up here, Flame was pulling out of his mind, Bar was doing Bar things and just killing everyone. Everyone did their part, and it felt great. Felt like a team.
Il lui a demandé.
Feels like a team. Sorry.
Il lui a demandé évidemment ce que ça faisait de jouer sous cette pression. Est-ce que ça le rassurait pour demain? Il a dit évidemment, surtout que les 2 premières journées ne sont pas extrêmement bien passées pour eux. Mais alors là, autant dire que ça s'est vraiment très bien passé. Ses teammates ont clutch de zinzin, ont fait exactement leur boulot, et du coup, il est confiant pour demain.
Strafing Flame. Tell me about the journey through the EWC so far this year. Obviously, Pricey said that first 3 days in fact, were pretty tough. Today, you guys have shone. It's been amazing. But how has it been for you? Has it been a rocky road?
Yeah, I mean, EWC so far has been like a very unstable roller coaster. I think we started off the first day right in second place overall leaderboards, and then we just couldn't get anything going after that. And I mean, it's just about the mental factor, right? Like we go into EWC with very little expectations, and then after the first day we show what we're capable of when we're playing not under pressure, and we dominate, right? And today we went into it with the same mindset again. It's like, if we go home, then we go home, right? It's like, I don't want to lose, but I'm okay with losing, and my teammates as well did a really fucking good job. I guess taking that mentality to heart, and we played what we were supposed to, you know? These guys' names explain themselves. If you ask any competitor, they know about these guys. These are 2 of the best players in the game, and we just, kind of played like it.
Last little question, bro. If you have to shout out to someone who is here but didn't make it, if you have one team you want to shout out for them because they didn't reach the top 6, who you want?
Gen.G. Did VKG make it?
Yeah. No, VK didn't make it.
VKG, Gen.G, Aurora. I think those 3 teams I really would have hoped that they would have made it.
Maybe see you next time for them.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to take a little stroll. Come with me, because you, by placing in the top spot in our survival stage, have earned the right to crush 14 keys at one time. So hold on. Whoa. Okay, we'll let you know. Luti, it's about that time. Whoa. You're scaring me, bro.
Do you want to happen it? Okay.
Yeah, you press that button.
And press that button.
Here we go. And the iris is now open. It's all popping off. Here we go. Flame in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. I think so. You know what? It's okay. Things can be fixed. But the reality is that the 14 keys are now crushed. And so, with that being said, our survival stage is now coming to a close. But before we let you go, we're going to send you over to Rain Day, because I believe he's got some interviews for you guys.
Cara, quebrou negócio, guys.
Well, 20 teams stepped foot into the arena today, knowing that only 6 would find a way to the mountaintop, at least a chance to climb it with tomorrow's greatest day in esports, as I have liked to call our match point finals. 6 teams have just moved on, but it was without any hesitation that they said they could do it. Anyone in this lobby had that opportunity. But of course, it means despair is on the other side of those who will not be joining us. However, this survival stage gave us all of the drama, all of the excitement, all of the passion that you expect from an Apex Legends esports LAN. And what better way to kick off the anticipation for tomorrow's match point finals than to talk head-to-head to 2 of the teams who have just booked their tickets. Of course, I'm talking about Hypeee. Yeah, you can make some noise if you want. Representatives all around the house, all around the world in Hypeee. What an organization. And of course, GK Esports as well. This is a team that has been there. They know what it's all about. I've got Cole right next to me. I'm looking at him, and I think I'm going to start with you, Cole.
Animados, hein, velho?
You guys, man, that last game was something.
Os caras são altos pra
I was
caralho
worried
também,
for
né?
you back there. GK was out waiting, watching. I'll get their perspective, but from your eyes, what was it like going through that final zone?
Sobre seus olhos. Como é que foi estar lá?
I mean, I don't even really remember it, to be honest. I was just so hyped about getting second and just knowing we called. Before it even ended, we knew we were called, so it was a great feeling.
Listen, I told you I would retire the nickname McLovin, but you are playing like the guy that everybody took note of when you were coming from the Challenger circuit. How does it feel to just be on your game right now?
It feels great. I'm just glad we pulled it back from the first 2 days and we're able to make it. And also, this is about the 4th time you've said that.
It's just so good. Bring it back, Cole. Bring it back. Okay, I got to switch over because he was getting mad at me. Keon, this is a group that I talked to you about earlier. This is a group that just feels right, fits your play style. These guys feel like they are home for you. You guys have made it into that match point finals. It's time to make history, but what does this moment mean to you making it out of Survivor stage?
I mean, we were down, but, you know, we're not out. You know, that's all that matters, you know. Bad draft, it doesn't matter. We had a bad draft coming here, you know, and we kind of figured it out going in to this elimination round, so we're excited.
Noct, I want to talk to you a little bit because you've been there with this gentleman right here. I'm going to step in between you two. Dropped. You guys have teamed before on Optic, obviously representing GK now. The journey, the brotherhood means something to you, but also just getting results here in this moment has to mean something to you as well, Noct.
Yeah, we always find a way to make it really hard on ourselves to get to finals, but usually we perform there, so I'm excited for it.
You know, Dropped, I want to talk about family because you got some family supporting you, huh?
Yeah, my dad's here supporting, yeah.
How does that feel? I talked to him in the stands. He said some kind words. I won't reveal them to you. He said them on tape, so maybe you watch back the show. What does it feel to you knowing that someone like that is rooting for you in these moments where 1 point can make the difference of going home and a season being done or having a chance at $2 million?
Yeah, no, it means everything. You know, my dad being here, he supports me no matter what, and as long as I'm doing my best, so I just always know that, and I always do my best because of that reason.
Legal, velho. Pais que apoiam filho, mano.
Seen that stolen away by some heroics from Sweet, who's no longer even playing in
Amanhã vai ser difícil, hein, guys.
Now, is this finally time to climb the mountaintop tomorrow?
Hopefully, I mean, we got some good momentum
going
in.
I feel like we played pretty well today,
so last 2 games, so yeah.
All right, I need to get a little bit of spice heading over here. Keon, I might ask you a question about these guys in a second, but let me do this with Vayne and with Kurev, because Vayne, you've been here before. You've actually been a champion, but there's been a little bit of a conversation about that championship because it was online at that time. We didn't have a chance to meet all in LAN. We didn't have a chance to do it in a way that we would have loved to due to things we can't control in the world. Does this help that feeling of saying, I deserve to be there, I deserve to be in these finals, moments like this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
é claro que o cara merece estar nessas finais, né, mano?
And then, you know, a couple months in, it's like, you know, it was online, it was this, it was that, you know. But it feels good to be on LAN and to keep improving. And like, I'm not the most experienced IGL, but, you know, thanks to my team for believing in me and letting me make mistakes and just, you know, rolling with the punches, and we'll get there, so.
And your mom is here?
Yeah, my mom's right there.
Shout out Mama Vane, I see you in the crowd. We love the parents representing, man. I mean, that's such an awesome story as well. And Kurev, I want to get to you. You said these guys, they feel just like you guys are all the same guy, all the same vibe, all the same brothers. How important is that going into a moment where everyone is against you, especially in a lobby where really life-changing money and opportunities are on the line tomorrow?
I mean, there's literally nothing better than just like being able to just like come here, play the most hype tournament there is, you know, for a lot of money, plus waiting your like, I don't know, like literally the best teammates you could ever had, you know, like it's like not only like a friendship, but like just fucking when it comes to like doing the work and stuff, they're always like serious and stuff. So I mean, that's not very feeling than that for sure.
It's been so great talking to you guys. Now I'm going to get a little bit of a conversation with Keon, just quickly previewing tomorrow. Obviously, you got a team right here who fought the same battle that you did. And to me, I think there's momentum coming into a tournament after going through adversity. Who are you worried most about heading into tomorrow? And it can't be we're not worried about anybody. We love our own game. That's the right answer. But who is a team that you have your eyes on? You know that's going to bring
Qual é o time que você já tá de olho?
I mean, I'm rooting for everybody in NA when it comes to grand finals. Obviously, we're rooting for ourselves. You know, anybody would answer that. I'm not. I don't know. I think anything that's won a LAN, that's who I'm worried about. I want those guys to not win another. You know what I mean? I'm ready for a new champion to rise up. And then, like, the only other thing, crypto, bro. Get that guy out.
Cole, with Keon saying it's going to be them, what do you have to say to that? Because obviously this is a good team. They just went through your journey, but it can only be one of you.
I mean, we've said it before we even came. We're here to win. That's all I'm going to say.
I like it. There's the support right there. I absolutely love it. Gentlemen, this is one of those moments that you don't get very often. Soak it up. Enjoy it as well. I'm going to leave you guys here. One final word to your fans, to your friends, to your family, whoever you want to make it out. Cole, I'll leave it with you.
Thank you, everyone who roots for us, and thank you for believing in us, even when times are tough.
And we'll go to Nox here, because I think I've kind of hit this moment. Big moment for you, man. And what do you want to say, final moments to GK or to anybody who's been supporting you?
Yeah, thanks to GK for supporting us and all of our families. You know, we got some family here. Shout out to them and everyone back home.
All right, well, what a moment, guys. The survival stage is set. It's done, and these two teams, along 4 others, will be playing tomorrow for $2 million and the chance to hoist this trophy. The ALGS Split 1 playoffs at EWC 2026 is only just beginning. You better join us.
É $2 milhões pra cada?
That's right, Rain. That's right, Rain. I mean, you said it best. $2 million on the line. And there will be a new champion, as VK Gaming, the reigning champions, have not made it to match point finals, but one team that has definitely made it. It's none other.
Aí, guys. É isso, né? Acabou. Acabou. Amanhã a gente volta com mais, então. Amanhã vai ser às... Deixa eu abrir a agenda aqui, mano. Amanhã às 1h da tarde. Não, 1h. Amanhã, meio-dia, mano. Meio-dia vai começar, hein? Nossa, velho. Amanhã, meio-dia vai começar, hein, guys? Estejam prontos, mano. São 10 rounds, velho. É o dia todo, hein? Nossa senhora, velho. Guys, então é isso. Muito obrigado pela companhia de vocês. Eu vou indo nessa, que eu tenho umas coisas pra fazer hoje. Boa sexta pra todo mundo. Um abraço. Falou.